Good time of day, all creatures of virus change ratings, and welcome to Kingdom of Aldana. Previously, our group has continued their trek through the rainy forest, as they were ambushed by a group of spider people, spider things, who proved to be nothing compared to their martial prowess and 3 summoned giant spiders. After which, the behavior of the spiders in the forest has changed. They were still avoiding the group, but this time they have attempted to block the group's advance, webbing over the tunnels, and at a later point attempted to contact the group, telling them to stop and go away in webbed out words. Melora has attempted negotiations with a small spider trying to be cute, and the group learned that the mother of all of the spiders, the queen, is ready and willing to have a conversation with them. Arriving to her nest, they had the conversation, as a result of which they have agreed to travel through the Mount Perteus, as the spiders will let them pass, and in exchange they will destroy the fire dragon in the mountain, freeing the mountain for the Spider Queen and her brood to return to their home, the mountain itself, and leave the forest and the kingdom alone. The queen herself, who surprisingly turned out to be a bit bigger than expected, has taken you to the foot of the mountain and gifted you with a cloak made of her web. You have devised a plan to ascend the mountain, which involved a lot of flying and invisibility and teleporting the rest of the group. And as such, in 2 days, you continue your ascent, going into the steamy, hot cloud area, going past the clouds, and finally reaching the top of Mount Perseus, and taking a look at the caldera of volcano in front of you. Now, previously I have failed spectacularly at describing the size of the crater. It turned out to be like 10 times bigger than I expected it to be. So let me provide you with a new, updated and correct description this time. So, as you stand upon the lip of the crater, all of you satisfied with having reached your destination and not having to climb anymore, but tired. All of you are pretty spent, not on the level where you will be unable to fight if necessary, but any further trip will definitely be complicated. The crater in front of you is larger than you expected, a couple 100 meters across. The very center of it is taken by the source of heat, the lava lake. It is not roiling, the lava is pretty calm as far as lava goes, just occasionally bubbling and throwing a bit of rock and brimstone into the air. The air itself is unpleasant, but mostly due to the immense heat coming from this lake, and you imagine that coming closer to it will make it even hotter. The smell of sulfur is present, but lower than at the geyser you saw previously. Perhaps it all burns up. At the very center of the lava lake, you see the target of your adventure, a small, cracked up and crisscrossed with smaller lava streams island of rock, a bit raised above the level, upon which stands the remains, the ruins of a keep. It is relatively well kept, considering its location, and you imagine it could host a couple dozen of soldiers when it was in use. But now half of the wall is destroyed and you see cracks in the walls, and frankly it is no longer a defensive structure. The lake is surrounded by a lip of rock and earth colored brown-red, On the right side of you, to the east, the lip is narrower but still wide enough to allow you to travel all across the lake if you wanted to, while on the left side of the lake there is quite a bit of empty space. And you can see that the leftmost, the western wall of the crater is actually much lower than the one you ascended, and there is no lip, so to speak. From that direction you see a cloud of steam rising into the sky, and a cluster of some sort of construction, baked red-brown earth domes. It looks like structures, like primitive structures, but and some of them are like a little bigger, some are a bit smaller, but it's still hard to see, and they are surrounding that column of steam. On the other side of the crater, across from you behind the keep, you actually see a part of the mountain where a flow of lava is bubbling, actually powerful bubbling from beneath the earth, and flows into the lake, possibly being the source of this lake. The crater is much better inhabited, I think that's the word, than you hoped it to be. You see a couple large hulking figures. They look humanoid, carrying some sort of like a plate, serving as a shield, but made from possibly molten metal, possibly just a slab of rock. They, two of them are patrolling the shores of this lava lake, and one is just hanging around the island with the keep. Occasionally you see like gouts of flame erupting from their heads, and even without those flames they're constantly smoking. Around those figures you see groups of smaller red dots. A bit too hard to understand what they are. They do seem to be moving with a purpose, if not herding, then at least accompanying these giant shield bearers. Although their movements are not completely humanoid. Occasionally you see creatures arise from the lava lake, just moving blobs, pools of lava itself, as they roam across the rocky lip, leaving fiery trails behind, and then plop back into the lava lake itself. Melora, Trega, and Arlis would recognize these creatures as, if not fire elementals, then at least something very similar to them. The rest, from this distance, are a mystery to you. So, what would you like to do?
Let's take a break here, yeah? Just because I think from here on out it would be better if Zardos takes the cloak. And I think that'll take a while.
If who takes the cloak?
Zardos. I think my microphone is off, judging by how many times I've been asked what I said. I'm just gonna take it off and start unattuning that unattunement process, and then after that I'll give it to Zardos.
So, while the last of your ascent was pretty steep, the inner slope of the crater are quite gentle, so it wouldn't be extremely complicated to descend. But where are you resting? Are you just resting on the lip? Are you descending? Are you making any attempts to hide yourself or secure your location?
Yeah,
Is there
I think
any
the
place
best-
around that
yeah.
would give us cover?
Not on the lip itself. You'll need to descend a little bit and maybe try to hide between like a rock or... So like imagine like the lip is kind of similar to, like to a fence, like a stone fence. If somebody approaches you close enough, they will see you just basic outline against the sky. But if you descend a little bit, there's enough like rock and irregularities in the ground that you might be able to hide yourself. And the rest it will have line of sight blockers.
At least somewhere we can don't be easily seen by whatever's down there.
Do we need a short rest, long rest, guys?
For the attunement process, yeah.
For the attunement, you need 2 hours. 1 to unattune
2
and
hours,
1 to
okay.
attune. As for your physical condition, preferably you need to hang around and then have a long rest. Nobody's gonna stop you from picking up a fight right now, but you just feel like if you're gonna fight a dragon in your current condition, and if you will have to travel towards the lake and towards that heat, you may not be able to handle it in your current condition without suffering from it.
I'm fine.
Sure.
Just a quick question. Am I the only one here who's able to cast invisibility? I think Melara? Are you?
Melara
I think
has it.
Carlos can. though.
Yes.
I have it, but it's not prepared.
Okay, but that's already fine enough.
Or no, we took a rest last. Oh, yeah.
If we descend, this looks like there might be a lot of potential trouble. I would suggest going down there as soon as we get in any visible range, we just become invisible.
Is your general plan, of course, or course of action to get as close to the dragon as possible while avoiding everyone else on the way there? Is
Yeah,
that
we're
what
trying
you're
to
looking
sneak
for?
to the fort, to the keep.
Yeah. I mean, if we fight the dragon, or if we fight someone else, and the dragon becomes aware of us, and he swoops in while we deal with other things, that will be not good.
What was the term for it? Like, I think Cole will describe it when you go to the end of the dungeons and alert everybody and all the dungeon swoops upon you.
Yeah, that is Colville's screw or something.
Yes,
something like
that
that.
one. Go on.
If that's our plan, we do have the option to fly in there with everyone. And if the two of you could turn a couple of people invisible, then combined, I think it would not cost us too much to get down there in a very short period of time, but it'll cost me, well, the highest circle I have. But I can bring everyone down there.
Also, for reference, from on average, the distance between the lava island and the shore of the crater would be about 100 meters, so a significant distance. But on the western shore, you actually see that it's not just an empty lava lake and you have to fly across it or swim across it. There are not islands, it's hard to call them islands, but like bits and pieces of land and earth that's still holding in this lava, and you actually do see that those of them, well, not all of you see, but like Melora sees and tells you, that the ones of them closest to the shore actually have some sort of bridge-like structures connecting them. It's hard, honestly, to say if it was made by any of these creatures or existed previously. So in theory, if you want to travel by land, you could hop using those bridges for a little bit and then try to hop from island and then cross the last like 50 meters. Or obviously you could just go invisible and fly in, and
That is a possibility. That's why I'm putting it out there. That way, only I will have spent a lot, but Melora and Leo should be fine. And we'd probably avoid almost all dangers along the way, which would leave us well rested for whatever fight waits in there. But it is a pretty all or nothing move.
Because we can't fly back out.
Well, we can teleport back out, but teleportation, from what Lady Khazar said, is pretty wonky around here. So who knows what happens when we try that.
And I don't think there's any vegetation around that I can use travel through plants.
No, but you said it's pretty wonky because of the. Well, after we defeat the dragon, she needs to teleport to here in order to close the portal. Right? So by then I think teleportation would be fixed, right?
We don't know what the thing is, if it's associated with the portal or the dragon or something else entirely. It's just that if we are going to be teleporting out in the middle of battle to get away from something, there's a good chance something might fuck up. Maybe it doesn't work at all. Maybe we land where we don't intend, which is still preferable to the teleport not going off, but there are many things that can happen, and since she said it, we should be careful of it. And once we're in there, we're going to be in there. We don't know exactly where that dragon lies. For all we know, he could be sleeping in the lake. Not exactly a place we can touch him. On the other hand, taking the shorter, or not the shorter, taking the route that doesn't involve a lot of spells will probably also involve a lot of spells by fighting our way through. If we're being honest. And if we go that way, if we take the path on foot or the path by flying, we'll still be stuck in the middle if the teleport doesn't work and something goes horribly wrong. Either way, this is gonna be a shitty time, I think. So let's just... I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, when it comes to escape plans, I'm pretty useless other than summoning in Tarni.
Yeah, I don't think we need an escape plan that's any different than having teleport. Because if that one fails, we're gonna be fucked in there either way. All our escape plans involve teleportation of one way or another. Or maybe flight, but...
How swarmed is the way to the keep?
Sorry, second?
Yeah, how swarmed or how many creatures roughly are on the way to the keep?
Which way? There's no way.
Well, from our point to the keep. Error line? Is that how you say it?
Well, maybe perception check.
But they glow in the dark. Wait.
Sure. There's a lot of glowing, including from the lake, including, the heat wave.
That's true.
Okay, so... I'm not sure you started talking about the airspace, as the airspace is free of flying creatures, if that's what you're worrying about.
No, I mean, just between me and...
as I mentioned previously, you see one of those huge hulking figures right on the island next to the keep. Maybe there are more, and you always see let's call them lava elementals for now. Those guys constantly just appearing and disappearing in various parts of the lava lake, so they're always around. As for the patrols, there are two patrols basically almost 180 degrees across from each other, just circling around the lake. And let me quickly pull let me quickly pull up some math. So I said that the lava lake is about this wide, so 100 meters. So it's gonna be, radius is 100 by 2 by pi, which means that the circumference of the lake is around like 600 meters. Like, I guess 10-minute interval between the patrols.
Yeah, that's not that large, honestly.
It's not that large, considering that the closer you approach to the lava lake, the less like places to hide there are. There's just like not much left around the lake. I mean, the heat will maybe help you, maybe not. Actually, that's a good question. How easy it would be to fly over the lake and how noticeable you will be. That's one thing to consider. But so far you have spent like 10 minutes in here studying all of this. And you're still gonna be around for a while.
Let's get down a little bit out of sight, change the attunement of this item, and after that I say we fly in.
Any other suggestions? So that's basically it.
Yeah, it sounds about the best path there.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Fighting our way through and exhausting ourselves before the dragon might be troubling.
Yes, I think it'll be more troubling than using this resource this way.
Well, the thing is, if we fly our way in and we find a good place to rest, that will be even better than fighting our way in. And
how long would you need for the hut? But the thing is, if we try to rest in there, I don't think that's going well ever. If they see the hut suddenly appear in there, then sure, we're gonna be safe for however long it lasts. But the second, I think they will take plenty of preparations, and the dragon knowing we're there. I mean, how long does your hut last?
yeah, that's what I meant. If we go in, we fly in. No one will know that we're there.
Yes.
So no one will be looking for us, which raises the possibility of us getting a good rest while being in there. So I'm definitely for getting as far as possible without making any fuss.
About the not looking for us, there are patrols.
I think those are general. I don't think anyone is
Also
looking.
general. They don't have any warrants with our faces on them.
Oh no, not that.
I don't
but,
think
you know,
anyone is
they're
expecting-
looking for something.
Speaking of which, you like look to the right and there's a bounty board that says, "Have you seen these people?"
Okay.
Or they're just protecting something.
Yeah, they're just there to protect the gate and the dragon, because the dragon isn't up to his full health.
Yeah, I think so too.
So it's they're probably looking for something, but I mean, you should know that there's a huge difference in someone just being on guard duty and someone who's really looking for someone that just fled. Is a whole different scenario.
Yeah, I think this will be fine. If we get lucky, we find a place to hide in there where we might actually be able to rest. But I don't actually assume that'll be the case. It might be nice, but worst case scenario, we're in there, and we'll try to fuck them up as quickly as we can.
Yeah.
Good plan. Good plan. I like it.
It's like going in, seeing the dragon like lying down. Like, can you scoot over a bit? We're trying to put here a tent, and we want to rest a bit before we fuck you up.
Well, there is the keep on that thing, and maybe the keep is sort of fallen in, so maybe there's a part where we could hide. But
Probably find somewhere there.
let's.
But then again, why not just rest over here?
Why would we need to rest here right now?
Why do we need to rest there?
Because then
we spend magical juices to get in there.
Yeah, flying and okay, I get it.
And if you haven't noticed, we've been climbing this mountain for all fucking day.
I mean, we can. if you guys want a rest here, we can, or not here, but a little further down where we are out of sight, we can do that too. I don't
Yeah.
think one day will make the big difference, and it's good if we're ready. Also, we don't need to be in Kreutzung until like 5 more days, so
Yeah, I
definitely
think we
have
all agree
time.
on the plan. Just fly in and try and rest.
Let's try
No,
the
no, no.
flying in part.
Those are different parts. There's, if we really want the rest right now, then we are doing it somewhere closer, higher up here. Not on the lip, but somewhere where we're sort of out of sight. If we want to take the fight, then we fly in. And we can still look for a place to maybe rest in there, but that's much less likely than if we do it up here, or close to here.
Yeah.
So which of the two do you want?
I
Can't
say
you-
we fly in.
And risk not resting?
Yes,
Yes.
that's what he's saying.
I mean, the longer we take, the more time the dragon has to come back to his full power. Remember that Lady Khazar mentioned that he's still fucked up on traveling.
Yes. Not sure how much difference one day will make, but it's definitely something we should keep in mind.
I'm indifferent on this. I'm fully prepared, but whoever needs, I mean, I'm
Laura?
fine either way.
Personally, I'd like all of us to be at our full strength when we fight him.
So you
So I'm
wanna
all for
take a day-
resting.
You want to take a day here?
But if we
Yes.
rest here,
Then you still have to fly over.
we still need the energy to fly in.
Yes, but we'll be
I'm sorry, I thought
much,
that was the plan.
we'll be much better adjusted to the circumstances up here than we are right now. I mean, the heat is gonna be excruciating. That I'm sure of. In there.
Do you feel the heat in the hut?
No.
Okay, in that case, it's actually bad to use the hut because we won't get used to it. And we should try and get used to it if we can in any way possible.
And you do get used to it after a while.
Zardas, what's your vote?
Yeah, if we can just get over there and find some place to rest. All for that.
Come on.
Okay, let's take the risk, is what I'm hearing from the majority here.
I have another alternative.
Go for it.
I could fly in on my own. I think it wouldn't waste all of your energy if you sent me in flying. I could scout ahead, or we fly in both together. And if we like what we see, we can pick up the rest. If we find a good spot, that way we will definitely know for sure that we can have a good chance to rest there.
There is a risk associated with that part.
There's a risk associated with everything that we do here. That's
Yes,
loud.
but will be the two of us, which
What you need for flying purposes?
Well,
for-
we do have
should we-
Dimension Door, which should get us out of danger.
out of immediate danger maybe. But yeah. Oh, I mean,
Dimension door is 150 meters. It will barely get you out of the center of the island to the shore,
Onto the-
or the other way around. Well, not barely, like with a significant, with a decent save.
And
but-
what's the distance between the lip and the shore of the island?
Depends. On the east, it's a lot less space, like maybe 50 meters. On the west, yes, on the west where you are and like where you see all the construction, it's another good 200-300 meters. So it's like an avoid, kind of.
Making our way around is like a mile or something like that, right?
Half a kilometer.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't hurt to scout that way, I guess. Let's risk it for... Yeah, let's give it a try, right?
So you two are going to fly in and scout while we walk our way to the east?
Walk your way down to some place that looks like you can't be seen from down below. That would be optimal for a place to stay in case we want to stay there. Okay.
Okay.
Leos, ready?
Yeah. I will cast. Wait.
I'll cast Fly at 4th level.
Apologies.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And
Bless you.
then I will cast that one.
Wow.
Visibility on 3rd level.
Alright.
And as before, Cannon is holding hands.
Okay, sure. Okay, I switched it. Good. Yeah, sure. So the two of you are invisible, capable of flight. You have not had time to unattune from your cloak. You still have it on you.
And can I do that? What, does that need concentration? I don't know. How it works.
You need a short rest. You're not short resting while you're flying around in.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely.
Actually, after you finish your flight, we need to talk whether you can short rest here without using a hut. But we'll talk about it later. So, what's your plan with your flight?
Try and so we're gonna fly or sort of low to the ground to sort of get an idea of the path down below, how dangerous it looks. When I say low, I mean like 20, 30 feet above, and we're definitely being stealthy. Do you want us to roll?
I do want you to roll.
Do I want to use tides? No, I'm not using tides. Excellent choice.
So are you flying directly to the island, or are you scouting other places as well?
I mean, the road, I think since we have like 2.5 kilometers of flight, the road, it shouldn't be too hard of a thing to... We're gonna basically follow the road down that it would take anywhere, and then sort of also take a quick fly over those stone bridges, or the sort of the stony things that are sometimes connected by bridges, not all the time, to get sort of make that circle and then get to the middle to check the middle out. But we just want to get as much of an idea as we can along the way.
Okay, sure. Are you going clockwise or counterclockwise? Or like east-west?
I think eastern. Because the thing was eastern, right? The bridges?
No, the bridges and the activity, the buildings are on the left, on the west. The
Okay,
east is where there's less space, and
then we're going west.
Okay, so the two of you start flying relatively low, but high enough not to hit anybody, and make me also perception checks.
That's a mighty 9.
That's a mighty 2. I'm gonna use luck or fate. Oh my god.
That's a 15 for Leos and a 10 for Arles. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so those bridge things, the islands, are not centered. They're closer to where you actually climbed upwards. And looking from above, the ones closest to the actual shore have pretty decent bridges connecting each of those tiny islands, and by tiny I mean like each island is maybe like 30-40 feet across, no more, and they are made from seemingly the same earthy material as the ground itself, so it connects a couple islands, and from then on the islands become much more sparse, close enough to use like dimension door, but dimension door gets you anywhere. So to be fair, like island hopping would still not be an option after like maybe 50 meters into the lava.
How far apart are they? I do still need to ask, even if they are more sparse, because there are other options at our disposal.
More than 30 feet. More than 30 feet. So
much more?
The ones that are close to the shore have like maybe like 5, 10, 15 feet wide lava streams among them, but then they're just seemingly the islands closer to the center were the first to sink or be covered, and from them it's like 20 feet, then 40, then no island at all for 100 feet, then another cluster of small islands. It's not a convenient game arcade pass.
Yeah, it's not usable.
Sadly, for you it will require significant expense. You do, however, get a much better look at one of the patrols that you're flying over that is currently passing by these islands. You see the large hulking figure, about 15 feet tall. It is strange. You've never seen anything like it before. Make me a history check. Each of you?
History.
Yeah. Or Arcana.
Arcana would definitely be the better choice for me then.
You have definitely never seen or heard or even seen pictures of these creatures before. And they appear very humanoid in looks, but not in nature. For starters, they, for some reason, are female. Although you have no explanation why they would need to be female or have all of the things they currently have. Because what you see amongst the heavy metal, black metal plates hiding most of their bodies is a lava-colored skin of most likely incredible temperature, and the skin seems to be almost semi-transparent as you see like the flow of energy below. This particular giant is donned with a large, once again, black metal helmet, from which a small gout of flame is erupting, followed by a plume of smoke. And the helmet is completely covering its or hers face, just leaving a couple holes through which you just see red. And it is carrying a huge shield made of, now that you're closer, it's possibly metal, but like crude just iron plate that is half like melted and drooping, and then cooled over, and where the giant is actually, well, I'm gonna call it a giant even though it's not a giant, where the giant is kind of holding hers arm to the metal shield. It is actually like heating up to red hot. In the other hand of this creature is a like 12-foot long trident of black heated metal. And once again, where its hand holds onto the trident, the metal is not orange hot, but like dull red hot. It is surrounded, this creature, by a group of humanoid, human-sized amphibious-looking creatures. The closest real-life thing you can imagine is like a lizard, but scaleless lizard that is walking on its two legs. And there's a group of troops, like 7 of them, carrying small metal bucklers and badly processed carved blade. Their skin seems to be pretty much transparent, and you can see the skeleton and the like arteries, orange arteries below. And this group is led by a similar scaleless lizard riding a bipedal lizard bird. That's the closest you can tell. It's bipedal.
Does it look capable of flight?
It is definitely not flight capable. It has very powerful hind legs, like chicken style, but instead of feathers, it's red scales, black beak with a ridge of black going down its tail. It seems to have absolutely no trouble withstanding the surrounding heat, and it is being ridden by another one of those scaleless lizard people holding a spear and a bit better armor, like there's an actual helmet, and it seems to be directing the procession. And now that you are coming closer to the lava lake itself, you can feel the heat wave raising above the lava. It will not, well, unless you are wearing extremely flammable clothes and fly too close to the lava, it should not cause spontaneous combustion, but it is on the level where it's scorching hot, and you, having like been flying for 2 minutes, are already feeling like parched and sweaty. So I imagine you pass this patrol and I guess like take a detour towards the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get a quick idea.
Yeah. So taking the detour and flying a bit further, you see clusters of mostly domed, occasionally rectangular buildings made seemingly of like dirt and mud. That forms some sort of street, some sort of order, but very rudimentary. In the center of this small settlement is another hall from which you see the steam rising, and it is surrounded by pools of from extremely hot to boiling water. You see more of these fire things, lizards, scaleless creatures, people wading through the boiling water and like reaching down and picking up something. You see what looks like large eggs placed in the center of this pool in the boiling water. You see some of them just like walking around and doing stuff. You see a couple more soldiers kind of like patrolling the streets. It looks like a primitive village. There's one thing that actually draws your attention. You see a procession of 4 such creatures moving from the west, some from the lip, and as they're passing across, other lizard things kind of greeting them with some sort of chittering and starting to follow them, forming a sort of group. The 4 leading lizard things are carrying metal post, a long metal post, to which by its legs a deer is tied to, and it is alive, and it is freaking out.
Where the fuck did they?
And
Where the fuck did they find that?
and they're currently making their way through the streets of this village and seemingly in the direction towards the lava lake. Are you interested to follow them, or are you passing by and flying further?
I think we're heading. Can we sort of fly on, but keep an eye on the procession to sort of get an idea
I mean,
where
up
they're
to
going?
a certain distance, yes, and you will most likely be able to at least see them, but definitely not hear what they're doing. And
No, that's
if
fine.
you like cross the, let's call it, corner of the lake, the heat, the heated air will basically not heavily but severely obscure your sight.
The village, the primitive village, it's not part of the settlement of rocks, right? Or that's sort of leading a semi-bridge into the middle. It's more like on the outskirts.
Let me give you a rudimentary sketch. So let's say this is a lava lake, right? With keep in the middle. Over here is the source of flowing lava, and so like a lake. Then there is the lip, which sort of goes like this. I'm not keeping the scale very exact, but sort of like this. So
okay,
here
then it's
I like
pretty-
the
yeah.
closed island. Then it's like like this, makes it
Yeah.
much more difficult. And the closest ones are sort of connected. and the patrol you saw like over here, and the group is heading in this direction. And then over here the leap is kind of gone, and the village is like over here. It's still just like 150 meters from
Okay.
the islands to the village, but it is a bit away. It seems that they have placed their village over there because of the access to that boiling water, to another geyser, and possibly because it's a much simpler place to climb out of the crater and go down to hunt for food. Although why they would bring it here, it is for now beyond your...
How long do I estimate it will take them to hit the shore of the lava lake?
At the rate they're going, maybe 2 minutes.
And we've been underway for how long?
By now, 3 minutes.
What do you
And
think?
mostly because you've just been hovering a lot and observing things.
What do you think? Should we see where they're taking it? It might be a sacrifice to the dragon. It might show us something about it. Maybe it's a sacrifice to something else, but they probably have a purpose for bringing it somewhere.
Or what if they just put it at the edge of the lake and the dragon swoops out and just eats it and just goes back?
It's possible. We still have plenty of time to get to the middle.
Let's keep an eye out what they do. I think it could be interesting.
Okay, so we are hovering a little higher above now,
How high?
probably 80, 100, something like that.
Okay, sure.
We can take 10d6, that's fine.
Okay. Can you take 10d6 and then 10d10 falling into lava, and then 18d10 submerging into lava?
No, probably not.
Okay. You see the procession kind of like increases, and at the edge of this, let's call it village, another of these fire lizard people exits from one of the huts that seems to be a bit bigger, like adorned with jagged rocks, and starts leading this procession. This lizard appears to be important. It is like holding metal stuff. Seemingly, most tools here appear to be metal, because you have a feeling if these lizards touch the wood will most likely ignite. So that's why they're using metal. And it has an amulet on its neck and kind of like leading the people towards the lake. And they're gathering. A lot of them are warriors, or having weapons, but quite a lot of these lizard things appear to be workers, civilians, a couple smaller ones, but it is pretty impossible to discern if some of them are like female or male. They don't seem to have any features that show that. You hover safely above, watching what they do as they approach the lake. The patrol has sort of passed on by this point, and the soldiers, the warriors, and the civilians kind of stay on the shore as the staff bearer and the post bearers start walking along those bridges onto the islands until they get to the last of those islands, like a good 10-15 meters into the lake, and then there's just lava all around. And you see as the post bearers can like stick a couple more metal posts into the ground and hang the post on it, forming the sort of like grilling space. Well, that's how it looks like, I guess. As the deer is just continuing to freak out, it's doing painful, fearful deer sounds, and you already can see that the heat itself is enough to start not cooking it, obviously, but like smell of slightly burnt hair, slightly burnt fur. And then the post bears kind of stand back, and the staff bearer like turns around and starts chittering in his voice like he's doing a speech. And at some point you can hear him say, "Emix! Emix! Emix!" And everyone on the shore goes, "Emix!" and does the like deep bows, "Emix!" And
I blow them up.
Out of character, I really don't like that name because I know what it is.
and as like the procedure comes to like some sort of crescendo, you see as where this fire bearer kind of like stands, lava starts bulging as one of those like lava elementals reaches the shore, and it is pretty big blob of lava, like maybe double the height of the fire lizards. And the post bear just kind of like does this as the lava elemental like walks over him, kind of like absorbing him, and towards the deer that is doing its best to escape and failing, just like trying to fight it. And the lava elemental just walks over the deer. There's a moment where you don't smell it, but you believe you smell cooking and burnt meat. There's a moment of screech of pain and silence as the deer is absorbed. And then the blob kind of turns around and starts heading back towards the lake. And as he passes over, you see the staff bearer that was absorbed previously just like left standing there in its space, like looking at the sky, untouched, unharmed, undamaged, and just goes, "Emix!" And there's a heavily charred remains of a deer skeleton collapsed onto the ground.
That was not what I was hoping for.
No, me neither. Let's go further. Let's go to the center.
Does he look like an elemental, or does he look like a cube, just fire?
No. It's a living blob of lava with like fiery eye thing in the middle and like kinda arms. It's as vaguely humanoid as any elemental you have seen previously, which have been fire elementals you've seen.
Got it.
It definitely didn't have any like legs, it was just like flowing over ground, leaving a path behind. Yeah, by now I'm gonna say you basically, actually like you have 5 minutes of flight, so yeah, that's more than enough to get to the island, hang around for like a minute or two, and get back to your friends without any trouble.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna...
Not that, but yeah.
We want to basically just check out the island to get an idea of if there's any... firstly, like, what the fuck lives on there, if we can find any trace of the dragon. And second of all, if any place on there looks like we could maybe hide in it and place a sphere in it for...
Okay, let's get it one at a time. I do need to pull in some descriptions and fillers, you know, to fill in everything where combat should have been. I would like you to make new stealth checks as you are entering the airspace above lava.
Ooh, asking us to fail.
Well, sure. I guess I
plus
am.
11 and still you both times you roll better than me.
Yeah.
You have plus 11! Jeez, do you have expertise in this?
Yes.
Why? Why would you want expertise in this?
Because no one else.
Oh
can
wait,
see.
you did a 19. Okay, I thought I didn't see it. Alright, so as you cross above the lava lake, you actually have to consciously control your flight as you feel the heat better and try to lift you higher into the air. You feel that if you, you instinctively rise a little bit higher, and you feel that if you were to try and fly like 5 feet above lava, your clothes will just ignite from the heat itself. And maybe that's just your feeling, but you don't feel like trying it. Or maybe you do. Please be my guest.
Look.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
Okay.
Just let me get all of the d10s out as you
What
do
I
that.
would like to know is how high is the difference between like the island and the sea, the lava lake?
It kind of depends. Like the ones closer to the shore where the sacrifice was happening, there's just like a couple feet. The scattered ones depends. Like some of them are just like jagged rock sticking from the lava, and maybe there's an island below, but it's already covered. Some are like half submerged, like this. Some are leveled like this. It feels all very irregular and
What about the main island?
yeah.
That's
The
what
main
I was
island
mostly
is
curious about.
on average between 3 and 5 feet of actual ground remaining between lava and the earth. And you see that, now that you're flying in the direction, that the island itself is not an island, but more like whatever earth is still sticking together, and there are more than one cracks in it, and lava flowing through that cracks, creating another like heat disturbances above the island itself. Where was I? Yeah. So you're flying towards the island. It doesn't take you that long to approach it. It is difficult flight, but not too much of a distance. And flying over the island, you see actually a couple more huge skeletons of various creatures. Make me nature checks. Oh, yeah, nature checks. Nature checks. So, Arlis, they are big. Like, general structure reminds you of a horse, as in it is a four-legged, hoofed creature, but it is several times larger. Julius, like knowing the stories you heard and what you learned recently, you think these are a couple mammoth skeletons, most likely.
Shit.
Yeah. And
just
yeah.
out of character, do mammoths exist
Yes.
in this? Well, okay.
Yes.
Good to know.
Yes. They basically, like from what we've heard, they only exist behind the endless wall. So, like, if you were to go to Fristiner, like in those lands, definitely nowhere in Aldana. Like, but there, yes. And people who live there, they do hunt them for like fat and fur and ivory. Like, actually, ivory is pretty big, or like one of the only imports they do to, or exports to Aldana. And as you cross the lake completely and start flying above the island, it becomes easier because as little land as there is, as crisscrossed by lava flow as it is still blocking the heat, and it is still helping. And you can see like a couple remains of what might have been a wall surrounding the keep, like a gate, a tower maybe, and then the keep itself, not quite in the middle of this island, as the lake doesn't give a fuck how symmetrically it's gonna start submerging it, but closer to the what's there, to the eastern side, and pretty much in front of what you would assume to be X gates of the keep, you see one more of those fire she-giants things. And from what you can tell, it is the only visible, possibly hostile creature that is patrolling or guarding or hanging around on this island.
Wanna go into the keep?
Yeah.
In that case, we would like to closer to the keep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. So you fly over the keep, and you don't need to go through the gate or past the fire giant thing. And just find a piece of collapsed wall and enter through that hole. And inside of the keep, you frankly don't see as much as you wanted. The glow of lava is enough to illuminate at least the entrances to the keep with dim light, and you see, like, if you enter through the wall of one of the towers, you basically see rubble-covered stone staircase descending down, and the deeper down it goes, the less light you have. There are occasionally, like, not windows, but arrow slits in those walls that have survived, which are providing a bit more entrance for the light. But you two humans would definitely have trouble going deeper. Do you like to go deeper?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So, you kind of hover a little bit above the rubble so it doesn't stop you from going, and flow down the spiral of the tower. And good thing you were able to fly, because the staircase did not survive the age. You just like face a 10-foot gaping hole, which you would have had to jump or traverse otherwise, but you use it and just go down through that hole until you descend to what you assume to be the ground level of the keep. And from what you know, the dragon is supposed to be somewhere below it. You see another hole in the wall just collapsed, as if something might have hit it long times past. If you're illuminating this room you found yourself in, and it must have served a purpose, this room, but for you people who don't know much about keeps, and with time covering it up with rubble and whatever silt and dust and dirt has been brought into by eruptions and everything else, it's all just covered in a layer of black ash and dirt. What worries you, however, is an effigy you see in this room. It is a bundle of metal poles connected, like welded together. Well, you don't know what welding is, it does not exist, but basically, like, you know, like 3 metal poles, and then where they connect, like somebody has heated it up and they just like melted together to make a tripod. And on that tripod is a metal brazier which has a crudely blacksmithed mask of something with like jagged teeth that are like kind of melted and welded onto this mask, and 2 horns and more jagged spikes attached to the front of this brazier. There are signs of something having been burned inside of it, but it is currently unlit. There are also 2 scaleless lizard people curled in the corner, like curled together, sleeping in this room.
Quick question in retrospect, like the tower that had basically been broken on the inside, how wide is that one? Or wide.
So like if the staircase was about 3.5 feet wide, then it would have been like 10 feet wide altogether.
10 feet wide.
Yeah.
Judging from the dragons I've seen so far, would, for example, the last green one be able to crawl through this space?
No. Maybe as you saw her half a year ago, if she tried to like squish herself and if the tower had no ladders, no staircases, then yes. But in her latest shape, she would have just destroyed this tower trying to do so.
So on the insides, while there is no more stairs left, there are still some outcroppings on there, right? Like
Yes.
places
yes.
where you could stand for a hot second.
Yeah. Like maybe somebody strong and athletic like Trager could have been able to like actually physically navigate this tower, like jump from one staircase to another if he was willing to risk the integrity of the stairs. But it definitely doesn't look user climbable easily.
The two on the floor look like they're sleeping, right?
They're close together. They aren't really moving much.
I'm gonna whisper into Leos's ear. I think we can use the tower. I think we can sleep in the tower. I can reshape it to give us a platform in there. I don't think if the dragon is bigger than the last one that he uses it as a pathway frequently. I don't think anything else uses it. If we can get in there, I think we can probably rest and hide in there.
Sounds like a good plan.
We just need to be quiet for that duration. But I think we can actually take that tower and at least try to make it a resting place.
Sounds good.
But do you think the dragon is below here?
There's not really much else where he could be, right?
It has to be, yeah.
And that giant thing at the entrance, it kind of looks like a guard.
It does. The question I have... never mind, that one is for later. I think we should head back now and come back and try and rest in here.
Yeah.
We're flying back.
Okay, yeah. This time you don't need to observe, so you just take a wide parabola towards your friend's ballistic trajectory. And pretty close to the end of your 10-minute flight span, you rejoin your friends who so far have been just hiding behind a group of rocks, for which I should have had them roll stealth. But whatever.
Okay, guys, I think we have an actual opportunity to rest in the keep. There's an old staircase, basically, that's entirely destroyed. Or not, like the inside of the staircase, the stairs aren't there anymore. And it would have been too narrow for the green one we saw last. So, judging by Lady Khazar's description, the big one probably doesn't use it as a way to travel. I don't think anything else uses it. And if we fly in there, I can seal it off with stone above us and beneath us, and leave a little gap to also drop down. And we could probably rest in there without being discovered. We'll need to be very quiet for it, but it's something we can do.
If you say so.
It's pretty much our best chance.
It's not gonna be a nice rest, but it's gonna be the best shot we have at being in there and maybe getting one.
Sure.
So I think the way we're gonna do this is, first of all of us will need to hold hands. I think I'll fly at the front, Leo's at the back, and I will make us all fly, and then I think either Melora or Leos needs to make 3 or 2, depending on who wants what. Invisible.
I can make 3 invisible.
I can take the other 2 then.
And then we fly on directly into that tower. when we're in that tower, I need everyone to split up and get on a thingy to sort of get on an outcropping. So because when I drop the fly spell to cast the other one, then yeah, that's when you might fall and make noise. Trego, I think it's actually best if you don't wear your armor for this part. Now that it's much easier to put it on, I think it would be
Yeah.
best if you don't have it on while we are traveling or staying in there.
Yeah, I'll take it off.
Yeah,
for
and I'll take my
stealth
scale
mission.
mail.
And I think as soon as we're in there, Melora, you've hit us in the past with your spell. I think it would be a good idea to do that again while we're in there.
Which spell again?
Out of character, pass without trace. That is
Okay.
multiple times.
In character, the one where you make us super stealthy.
Yes, that one.
If you want to take off your scale mail, it's gonna take you a while, like a good minute. If you want to do it still.
What if I help her?
It's gonna take half a minute.
Up to you guys.
Does
I
it-
mean, I
What
get
is- what is
disadvantage.
What is Stardust wearing?
Leather, I think?
Yeah.
Does it impose disadvantage?
Leather does not impose disadvantage.
scale mail.
Scale mail does.
Same as-
Also, one thing you should know and remember is right now, like you and Zardos are feeling fine. You don't sweat, you don't feel the heat, you're feeling great. That's right where you should be. Because you do have fire resistance. The moment you take off your scale armor, you will be as hit by the weather as your friends will be. Which is a trade-off, but a trade-off you should be aware of.
I mean, I'm not exactly the stealthiest person, so.
That's where Pass Without Trace comes in.
Well, while we're not going to try stealthing while we're flying.
I could make us all invisible. Melora can cast her super quiet moving spell, and you could cast the flying on all of us.
Yeah, we are definitely... What level of circle does that cost you? We are definitely going very high in if we get discovered in there, though. That's gonna be a fuck ton of trouble. But yeah, I think we should try it. It doesn't hurt to definitely have that part be as safe as possible if you
Yeah.
want to hide in that tower.
And if shit goes wrong, I can get us out.
Probably.
As long as we stay together, I can get us out. It's very likely.
If the teleportation doesn't go AWire on us.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask her, but I always felt like it meant that teleporting into this space was an issue, not teleporting out.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know, but just to consider it.
We'll just see. All right. In that case, I am ready to blow out my.
So am I.
6.
Let's go. I'm casting Fly at level 7.
I'm
Pass
casting,
without a trace.
and I'm casting invisibility as last on level 6.
On how many people does it work?
On
5.
5.
Okay. Sure, and by the way, just because I checked it for like a bit different reason, in theory, if you give the cloak away to Zardos and he starts attuning, at the moment he attunes, you automatically stop being attuned. So you can do it in an
that's
hour.
much
yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
That's
you
good.
can spend an hour to unattune, but it also says,
Okay, that's much
or
better.
if another creature attunes to the item. It doesn't say that a creature cannot attune to the item that somebody else is being attuned to.
Can we do that? Does attunement specifically require a short rest, or
Yes,
does it require
yes,
an hour?
yes. No, it requires short rest.
The question I have is, do we want to do that before we go in there? Do we want to change attunement before? I think we should do it before we go in there. I think we should try and take a short rest here if we can.
Safe, yeah.
Does it feel like it's too hot to take a short rest here?
Yes.
Does it feel that way to Zardos, who is
No.
resistant to fire? We're good. We can rest for an hour here. And then afterwards we can fly in invisibly while having passed without a trace on us.
Now, like, Dardus's family had a different opinion on what a hot bath means. Many guest was quite surprised or hurt if his father was feeling playful.
It's a rather nice day. Yeah.
Okay,
Then
so
I give him the cloak. We spend an hour for that,
Yeah.
and then
well, right now, if you're spending an hour sitting outside, or not like, well, sitting in a relatively open space, just to tune in.
didn't they just didn't you say they hid behind some
behind
couple of
rocks.
rocks?
Yes, but
Not
there's a difference between hiding behind those rocks for like 10 minutes while I fly around and spending an hour there as 5 people as
Can we
patrols
just
go
lie
by.
down?
You can certainly try, that's what stealth checks are for.
I mean, yeah, sure. Let's go ahead.
That will show how well you lie down.
Excellent.
So, stealth checks everybody. No, so...
I critted my stealth. What? Who am I?
Oh wow.
I haven't rolled on a
Yeah.
on a stealth check below above 10 today so far.
Yeah.
I found a way to rig roll
Oh,
20.
okay.
It seems like if you press things long, you crit all the time.
I will try that. Thank you.
This check doesn't matter. I just want to test this theory. How long?
Same here.
Like 10 seconds.
Okay, sure. I want to test this theory as well. 1, 2.
The amount of
It doesn't work.
It was a crit, just a
Definitely.
negative.
Definitely doesn't work.
Okay.
Critted.
This is bullshit.
Alright. Arnes, Leos, Traeger, Zardos, and... Wait, why do we have 2 stealths for Leos?
We were
tested
just
his
talking about it.
theory.
Okay, sure. So,
It's the first one. It's the 15.
Yeah, the first one.
okay. So, you lie down and try to hide behind a rock, assuming that you are being very successful and completely hidden,
Yes,
and
definitely.
start taking your short rest while Zardos starts attuning. Zardos is feeling fine and dandy. Everybody else is just like, hey guys, let's sit for an hour in this Finnish sauna, except it's also dry as fuck.
Sounds good.
There are things
Until
dry saunas.
yeah, until Milo remembers, oh yeah, you do have that decanter of endless water, and passes it around like, here, cool yourself, drink a bit, like hydrate, like drop it on yourself. I by the way have made a card for you. I do however need everyone except Zardos, because Milora has taken off her armor, to make a Constitution saving throw.
Wait, you all get
Wait.
+3.
I thought I ended up not taking it off because we went with Pass Without a Trace.
Yes, I think so too.
Okay,
But
sure, then you don't need to make it.
I'm gonna use Bend Luck on Leos's con save.
Okay,
So now it's an 11.
okay.
20.
So the three of you sweat out really well. You are sure that at the very least you will leave this place having purged your body of all the toxins, and you must have lost a bit of weight, like yeah,
This is
like
excellent.
the extra
Wonderful
fat is
spa
gonna
day.
go away. Yeah, you're gonna be
I'm
like
coming back here
lean
for
and
holidays.
yeah, and like you're like if we go to that, like if we kill off the desert thing and like take over the hot Kaiser Spring, that's gonna be like a good place for like a spa, like put some hot rocks, and it'll be nice.
Until the spider moves
You
in,
look,
that is.
you look to the side and you see a sign like you shouldn't stay no longer than 15 minutes
Yeah,
in this.
Don't stay in this place.
Yeah, like next to a pool of literally boiling water. And then there's like a little guy kind of like just sitting in it. Yeah, okay. So, okay. So we hang around and hang around and hang around and hang around some more. Passing around the water before Melora, you make a bit of a bumble, and as you say your command word to create some water, it splashes onto the rock, and there's a small like as it evaporates into a cloud of steam, and you don't really notice it until a while, like 10 seconds later, you hear.
Must have been the lava.
Which one of you is stealthy? Yes, like Dragon Zardus like stick from two sides of the rock and see that the patrol that was passing by has noticed the cloud of steam and stopped, and the guy on the lizard bird chicken. I love not being able to name monsters the way they're called.
Fire lizard bird chicken.
This sounds like something out of like bad lip reading.
So Lizard Chocobo is kind of like ordering his patrol to stop and sending two of his warrior subordinates to check out, just go walk behind the rock. What the fuck was that? They don't seem to be exceptionally like worried or like, oh no, it must be danger, we must arm ourselves immediately. But they're going to check it out. Like, they're walking by like the two of them together, and one of them like.
Alright, is this the moment where we get out?
Don't you have like illusions or
whisper.
stuff to do?
Quick question about this patrol.
Yeah.
How big is it?
It's the same as previously. The guy on
With
Lizard
fire?
Chocobo.
With lava giant
One
fire?
lava giant woman
fuck
thing,
us.
and like 7 warriors.
Don't you have like illusions or stuff?
No. Okay, I think we need to.
You
get
have
to
like
the
a
tower.
good 20 seconds before they reach the rock.
We need to get to the tower now.
Everyone, lie down now. Lie down as much as you can. Or wait, I need to look at the spell first. If it can actually.
So we're waiting on
So,
Okay, I need Dan. I need a ruling. Can I make wall of stone look like natural rock instead of smooth stone?
you can try. It's gonna be hard. And
What kind? Will it be a charisma kind of check? Since
Nope.
It's my spellcasting modifier.
sure, nope.
Wouldn't that be manipulating my spell? Okay, in that case, I can't use it.
Manipulating spells Arcana.
Yeah, Arcana with your spellcasting modifier would make sense.
Also, like you're hiding behind like a about 10-foot diameter rock, so to be fair, casting your spell would possibly be noticed anyway.
If I just pull it over us,
Yeah,
like
like,
a thin
It's
sheet.
possible that they will notice that, oh, that rock suddenly changed shape and start to investigate some more. After they see stone, they might like, okay, whatever. Maybe they will be curious. But the process of casting of such a large spell might be noticed.
Let's
So-
get out. Let's get out. Let's get out. Now.
We're doing it now. I'm subtle casting a level 7 fly now.
Okay.
I'll wait for Melora to cast Pass Without Trace and then immediately cast.
Yep. Cast it.
And I cast on Invisibility on 6th level.
Just as a warning, he is subtle casting, you are not subtle casting. So at this point you hear much more urgent chirping coming towards your direction as the two warriors are definitely hearing somebody talking behind that rock, things they don't understand because you're casting spells. But by the time they reach the rock and turn around, you have finished casting a spell, and the 5 of you are hovering, invisible, and covered by, like, somehow, some way, the shadows creep towards you and make you look like.
Should we roll stealth checks
Yes,
now?
you definitely should roll stealth checks now. Because the attention is on where you used to be.
Excellent. 32.
Okay. Can you please not? Melora, that's a 13.
24.
24, 24, and a 34. Okay. So, you hover, and you see like the two lizard warriors kind of like run around the rock with weapons kind of like drawn, and kind of like start looking around, like look up through you, and just kind of like don't see where you went. They know you were there, but they don't see
I'm
you
already
anywhere.
pulling basically and starting flying towards the place.
And you start
Yeah, we're
pulling
holding
everyone. However, as you like start flying, you see as the chi giant thing that was kind of like passive and not really doing anything, like turns its head towards. You're sure it's not you, but in your general direction, and you see as it sticks trident into the ground with a thumb, reaches down, lifts up a large like slab of rock, and goes for like this thrower, and waits a moment, a large disc of stone just like starts hurling through the air. I need to roll something. For one of you,
Please let me know the natural roll.
it's a natural 20 and a natural 2 because you're invisible and she rolls with disadvantage.
Okay, I think I'm okay.
So a large slab of rock just kind of goes, flies past you and kind of like flies for another 50 feet before it drops. And you just, I imagine you just start rushing past.
We're flying past.
Did it hit the other soldiers that were
No. You see the guy on the lizard chocobo kind of like starts giving orders, exaggerated orders to the giant woman lava thing, who doesn't respond, doesn't do any like sort of emotional reaction, but like still kind of like tracking your general direction, and you're not sure how she's doing it because you haven't seen yourself from the side, and you're not sure how much noise you're making or visual disturbance. But you see as she reaches for another one of those slab, and this is gonna be the last one she can throw before you're completely out of range. But she also like waits, and hurls it. Are you fucking kidding me? It's another natural 20 on a different die, and a 9.
Natural 9?
Yes.
1 second. Yeah, I'm using bend luck on that.
Go for it.
-3, natural 6 now.
6. Miller, what's your armor class?
15.
Okay. You go. Wow, we did it. We get out of it before slam. The rock hits Melora straight on the side, tearing her from the chain. And
Awesome.
well, Melora, roll me a Constitution saving throw for your pass without trace, and roll me another one not to lose height.
You get +2
Good.
for both of them, but you don't need them.
How much did she roll?
22 and 28.
22, 28, so that's 25 and 31.
Jeez. Well, let's see how much I roll. So it still might break your concentration. Unlikely. You take 27 points of bludgeoning damage. But yeah, your concentration holds. And you don't see your friends. You are not holding them anymore, and I'm sure you weren't the last in the chain, so the chain is broken. But I imagine all of you are still smart enough to just rush towards the island without waiting or shouting for each other. And like looking back, you see another rock just like be thrown and fall into the lava far behind you. You didn't pass unhurt, but it was better than it could have been. And worse than it could have been. In any case, you do find yourself reaching the shore of this lava island. What's your plan as you approach it? Oh, and I guess
I mean, we can't really communicate anymore
You know,
that easily since.
completely and totally DM feat. I'm gonna say that it is Arles, Leos, and Zardos. Then Milora was thrown out of the chain and Draco was last.
No, that can't be because we actually made out an order, and the order was I was in the front and Leos was in the back, so
Was
that way doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's the,
Sure.
that's the only part
Then
we said.
Milora and Zardos are alone.
But what I'm doing is basically flying directly for the tower.
Okay,
Since
no,
that's what we.
Same.
that's what you're doing, and pulling everybody along. What are Milora and Zardos doing? You are on your own. You have no idea where your friends are or if they're alive. Well, most likely they're alive, but you don't know where they are.
Just heading to the tower. It's pretty much all we can do at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, at least two of them are definitely alive because
Yeah,
concentration is still
concentration.
up.
Yeah.
You might be drowning in a pool of lava for all you know.
No, you know Dragon's with you because one of you is holding his hand. You don't know what's up with Zardos because he's not holding any concentration, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Wait a moment. Okay, so in that case, I need all of you to make your last stealth checks as you are trying to carefully and noticeably land on the island.
I mean, we are trying to land in a place that no one is at all.
Yeah, sure, but you're still passing by. And you don't know if there are any other things watching you. And by the way, Milora is the only one who has passed without trace.
I'm using luck.
Wouldn't Zardos have it if he's near me, or we don't?
You don't know what he is.
Okay.
Alright, so Milora 22, Zardos 13, Hills 15.
He got another crit? Are you serious?
And Arles,
I told you, I
Arles
found how to
is,
break the system.
16.
It totally doesn't work, but for some reason it just works.
It's okay. Get them out of your system before you fight the dragon.
Yeah, exactly, right.
No.
Fighting the dragon will be all fail crits.
This is your new technique. We're definitely using it against the dragon. That's good.
Okay, sure. I have an understanding of what's going on. So, each of you...
What I would like to know is, does it look like anyone notices us while we're flying over? Does anyone make a sign of recognition, like turn their head or something? Or not?
And you will find it out the moment I finish my sentence.
Okay.
So as all of you in your separate groups are traveling towards the tower, which was agreed upon as a point of destination, yes, you have been noticed, as that guard is definitely staring in your personal group's direction, Arlis, and is pretty much doing the same action as the one you saw on the shore, sticking trident into the ground and reaching for a rock to throw.
to be successful in a stealth mission.
And throw it does. As you see the rock fly in your direction and miss you completely. And you go, "Huh, sucker, hit this," as you turn back and see it hit something mid-air because Zardos here is the one being targeted. And I do need you to make a concentration thing. So.
Who needs to make a concentration check?
Zardos. Oh wait,
Or-
why? You're not calling again. Sorry about that. You take 35 points of bludgeoning damage as rock hits you mid-air and you drop a couple feet. And Miloro made it, everybody else made it. And yeah, by the end of your turn, you basically also make it into the tower.
Good thing we get a long rest after this, right, guys?
But, like, from the entrance of the keep, you do kind of hear the heavy footsteps. And that's the last thing you hear and see before all of you separately find yourself somewhere inside the tower.
As soon as I
Is
am
it
in the
perch-
tower, I'm going to start whispering, basically, because I need to know when other people arrive. I'm going to start whispering, "I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here. Who else is here? Please respond. I'm over here."
I'm holding your hand, Arliss.
I'm not talking to you, Trego.
And your hands are very sweaty by this point. It's basically like an ocean of sweat between them because they don't have fire resistance and it's very freaking hot, especially flying over lava. So it's pleasant. It's very pleasant.
Do I hear it when I fly in?
I mean, you'll go with them. The
Yeah,
three of you
yes.
were together.
We're
Arliss,
together.
It still makes little sense because I was the front and Leos
Yes.
was the back of the chain.
you said Zardos was the back of the chain.
No.
Oh, no.
Loose.
It doesn't matter anymore.
He said
Yes,
Ireland.
no.
I was the back of the chain, but
It's fine. Whatever.
because we both.
It is what it is. We didn't argue.
Zardos,
Yeah,
Leo, Zardos sounds the same. Why did you make similar names? In any case, Zardos was the one hit anyway because he failed his stealth, so he was holding concentration anyway. So sure, yeah, you find yourself all
It's
down.
fine, yeah. I'm gonna keep whispering. Hello, 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 hello.
Yeah, it's,
Anyone there?
it's probably not noticeable as soon as you fly in, right?
Melara?
Not really.
Zardos? Melara?
Make a-
You will notice, like somewhere you will notice Zardos fly in by him failing his stealth and by like pieces of rock kind of like falling off of where he is. Like there's like a slightly dusty like shape of someone it flies into there.
Yep, that hurt.
As
By
soon
now-
as I'm in the tower, I would like to take a stone from the wall that
Okay,
probably
yeah, smart.
and
Well, in
I
any
think-
case, you find all of you. All of you.
Okay.
I think everyone stick to an outcropping in this tower and we stay completely silent for now. Maybe they'll stop, maybe they'll think it wasn't too much. We need to wait out as long as we can until it looks like it's quiet. Just hold on to some place. The fly will drop in 9
3,
minutes.
2,
No, in
I'm
9
joking.
minutes. I'm waiting. And well, let's just wait it out. Zardos, you're very loud. Please, a little more quiet.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
And I think now everyone has the +10 again.
Yes. Yes.
We're just hiding on the inside of this broken tower, sticking to places along the wall, invisible.
Yeah, you wait for like at least 5 minutes or a bit more, and there's definitely like some commotion inside of the keep, and you hear it chittering from inside, and like you see as one of those scaled lizard things and like runs into the tower and like starts looking around, looks around, and runs out of the tower. You still hear conversation and shooting happening on the inside of the keep, but it doesn't sound agitated. It kind of like went from alarm to like you don't know what they're talking because they don't speak their language, but from the general feeling of their tone, like especially you Trigger, it feels like oh no, hello, alarm, we're under attack. Like, no, we're not under attack. What is this stupid machine doing? Like, it's failing again. Did it pick up some sort of a air disturbance? Stupid machine. Why did they leave us with it? It is defective. We wanted another cheap lava fire giant thing. It's kind of like that kind of tone. And I mean, they're still there, and you are now aware that there were most likely more than 2 scaleless lizard guys in the keep, but at the least you have not been noticed more than you have been noticed already.
So whenever I feel like Fly is gonna pass any second now, I am gonna tell everyone now, hold on tight. It won't be very loud. And I will subtle cast Wall of Stone. And basically above us, I'm cutting it off completely.
Okay.
No, above us, I'm also leaving like a gap where one person could fly out theoretically, or maybe climb out, just like a small hole at the side. And at the bottom, I'm doing the same, so we can drop down through it.
So basically, you need like
to stand on.
You need 2 panels. One blocks from below, one blocks from above, and just basically because of the geometry of the tower. If you want, you can have a hole in the wall that you went through, and have like this white space between the stone and like the wall of the tower, which is just enough for one of you to.
Does even Trego fit through there? I want it to.
Without armor,
I can
yes.
Shape it.
Without armor, yes. Can you?
Yeah, I can shape
well,
ornaments and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's enough. I mean, if he's alone and without armor, yes.
Oh, we were so close to fucking up your search. That was close.
Oh, wow.
Last time we did a stealth mission, I died, so yeah.
I was like, hold on tight, this is gonna be good. He's like, stone above, stone below, and then Iris goes, oh fuck, fireball!
That would have been a nice opportunity for that one. So yeah, I subtle cast it.
He's now green, and he wants to die.
But blue and green makes.
But theoretically, in lead, yellow it makes, but
no, isn't it yellow and blue that makes green?
well,
Blue, green.
mixed colors, yellow and blue makes green. But when you're looking at like a screen of a movie theater or something, green and blue makes yellow.
Yeah, it depends on what we're working with here. Anyway, that's and I'm keeping concentration on that spell for the next 10 minutes to make it permanent in here to give us basically a place to hide in.
Yeah.
And I'm also definitely telling Leos basically immediately. I think, can you fit the dome in here?
And suddenly, Leos is nowhere to be seen. He has disappeared in the commotion.
Anyway, we are probably hiding for a second anyway.
I'm just waiting for Ceruleus to like just get out of there.
Suddenly, from the corner here.
I
have been expecting you. What a coincidence! Yes.
Elias, I just told you that now that the wall of stone is up with the crude edges turned out, basically, for us to climb down through, can you fit the sphere in here now?
Sure, I guess.
I mean, it's not a physical wall. He can fit it anywhere.
Okay. Can you make it entirely transparent for both sides?
Yeah.
Wait, can I?
I don't know.
Think so.
I don't know.
Wait.
Valentine Heart. Oh.
Ah, no, you can't.
No, doesn't say.
It says the opposite. The outside is opaque of any color you choose.
Yeah,
Can
it's
I
opaque
make
from
it-
the outside.
Can I make it like a gray that fits the stones?
Make me an Arcana check.
I would like to inspire myself if I was level 14, but no.
Yeah,
I would
it's close
like-
enough.
Okay.
It's yeah, sure, let's call it gray. It's by now it's not gray, it's more like baked brown red as the
Mhm.
color of the walls. But yeah, you make it of similar color. To be fair, there's unlikely that anyone would notice you here anyway, unless they specifically walk into that hole in the wall and you have seen no creatures capable of flight around here. If somebody were to walk into the tower, they would see the stone, and they would be surprised by it because it wasn't there before. But that's the only thing they could.
Damn it, I wish I had major image after this. That's what nice.
There are many things you wish you had, and that's exactly
Yes.
why I try to throw you into situations for which you cannot be 100% prepared. Because otherwise, what's the point in playing?
I could if I was a wizard. Okay, let's move on.
It's your fault for not playing a wizard.
Yes, it is. Okay, I think we are trying to long rest in here.
Yeah, you are. I
And
guess. I mean, you can't long rest yet because it's like 1 in the afternoon.
didn't we spend an entire day climbing?
Yes, but you woke up at like 6 in the morning, and it wasn't an entire day. It was
Okay,
the
I don't
last
remember that
the
part.
last like kilometer of your climb was 4 or 5 hours, I think. Which is I know is completely bullshit and it's not real, but that's what I said. I don't give a fuck.
For game's sake.
Yes. Game's sake. I mean,
Did you know that every 100 meters of height you climb counts for at least 1 kilometer in distance, technically?
Really?
Depending on this, yeah, it's how it's
Yes.
calculated when you do hikes.
especially when you are capable of walking along the wall because you have a cloak of spider climb. Yes, I know.
Yes, especially
Wait,
then.
100 meters is 1 kilometer?
It's
in-
basically that. 100 meters height difference is what you account for in basically 1 kilometer when you account for distances.
Okay, I didn't.
That should depend on the
Yeah,
angle.
it definitely does depend, but that's like the general rule of thumb
Yeah,
for
no,
most
I didn't. Yeah,
slopes.
we didn't calculate that. We just did Google Maps and measured.
Alright. So, you are taking your long... Well, you're spending another half of a day in here and then trying to take your long rest. That's what you're doing.
Yep.
Luckily, once again, one of you had a good eye and you have a decanter full of fresh water available in any amount you wish. And you are glad you have it. Because after that flight, after the danger of it, this taste of soot in your mouth, especially for Zardas, who caught a rock with his face, yeah, that's strong, and you drink it and you wash your faces and just douse yourself in water. Luckily for you, the hut is a very pleasant place where you can stay without worrying about heat or atmospheric pressure, apparently. Actually, it doesn't mention that, but it does say atmosphere is pleasant, so let's call it pleasant atmosphere,
You
literally.
could put this on the moon and be fine.
No, it does not provide you with oxygen.
Oh, yeah.
But it would be very pleasant oxygen-less atmosphere. Yeah. I could go as far as say that since you're not completely in poison, it does filter out the sulfur in the air. Like if you were on a smoking volcano, that it would not stop, just for game purpose. But just the smell of sulfur, it will stop. So it should not
That's nice.
delay you from taking your rest. Anything you want to do, you have a lot of time ahead of you. Like you're going to be spending 14, 15 hours in here.
I want to practice my yodeling. No, just kidding.
Yeah, for the record, it does not block sound. So you'll have to spend relatively quiet
Yeah,
15
we're
hours
quiet.
in here.
That's gonna be a boring fucking ass time.
It's like,
We're gonna play.
oh man, I wish I brought cards.
Yes.
I have minor illusion. Yeah, it's loud.
No, minor illusion is just a gesture, though. I think that's the magic component.
Does
Oh,
it
yeah.
require?
Yeah, it's somatic and material component.
Yeah, okay.
So.
No verbal, you're fine.
So you can in theory play like minor illusion checkers or something.
Yeah.
Sounds
Tic tac
awful.
toe, definitely tic tac toe. You could play.
Sounds awful.
Well, it's totally your fault for not having proficiency in gaming sets.
Yes, that it is.
Yeah, not like. Never mind. Yeah. So anybody, anything?
Mm-mm.
You could in theory like have whispered conversations. That would not be too much.
Okay.
Probably thinking of changing a few spells around.
Can we take our break here? I really need to leave for 5 minutes to feed cats.
Yeah. Sure. Bring them after you're done.
I'll
Let's
try.
take a break.
All right.
And we're back. So, as you guys and ladies are taking your rest, and then a long rest, and I believe we ended up with nobody wanting to do anything interested or useful to fill in time.
We are
Well,
trying.
maybe, I said to maybe switch a few spells.
We're trying to be quiet.
Sure.
So
I mean, you could like play, like that game where you need to get under the stick.
And what if you fail to get under it and you drop and you make a sound by dropping? Sounds
How long?
awful.
Yeah, how long do we have during this?
Then you will get
14
into a
hours.
combat encounter, and the dungeon master will have to use all of the tokens and maps that he has spent half a day photoshopping.
I mean, that will probably still come up.
Alright.
At least
But at least,
partially.
yeah, at least gonna spend some of this time putting these other spell scrolls I acquired into my book. Spelled.
Okay. So, you hang around for another like 5 hours, just kind of getting bored out of your mind. Not really much to do. Can't really talk. Can't really play games. Just maintaining your equipment and trying to do whatever you can. Maybe little smoke talk and whispers playing for your upcoming fight that you can't really prepare for because you don't know where you're going. I would like Leos to make me, I believe, a wisdom saving throw.
He's going mad from the heat.
I really hope this is fucking.
I don't even need to roll anything.
Just press it for 10 seconds. You'll crit.
No.
I swear.
So, suddenly, without any warning or... yeah, let's go without any warning. There is another person among you. Lady Kazar. She looks around, sees all of you. Ah, good.
We're hiding.
Yeah, as you do that, you see as she kind of flickers, and you understand. Oh, that's an illusion.
What? Wait, what?
It's It's basically she's astral projecting across space.
She's video calling us.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that still makes noise.
It's a hologram.
No? Doesn't it?
Please be quiet. Even if you're just here in a different form. We are
Leo,
hiding in a
You're
tower.
our only hope.
Everything that I say from now is happening in whisper because I don't want to bother actually whispering because you're not going to be able to hear me.
Yeah, save that for the fire elemental voices.
I see. Have you reached the foot of the mountain yet?
We're in the mountain.
In the mountain?
In the mountain, in the...
Yeah, we're in the keep.
Ah, you certainly reached it faster than I was expecting. Good.
We had a bit of help.
Did you?
Yup.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure you will tell me everything after you return.
Mm-hmm.
How are your plans going? Do you expect yourself to be able to fulfill the mission?
We don't exactly know where the dragon is, but we're in the keep and it's probably beneath us. And depends. If it chooses to sleep in lava, there's not going to be much we can do unless we can bait it out. But other than that, I think we are on good path. If we can rest in here, we'll be at full forces for our fight tomorrow against it.
Also, you said something about the teleportation, being iffy around here. Is
Yes.
it both ways?
It shall remain iffy so long as the portal is open.
But it doesn't matter if we're teleporting into the space or out of it. It can go wrong.
Yes.
Nice.
It does also technically interfere with smaller scale teleportation, such as Misty Step or Dimension Door, but their scale is small enough that you should not miss your destination by more than a couple feet.
Well, that's something, right?
A large scale teleportation that is already dangerous could go right, could go wrong. You're not ready risking the wrong part.
Good. Still, at least somewhat of a way out of here in case of emergency.
Well, it's good to see you all alive and safe and in apparently high spirits. I wish you luck on your endeavor, and I will get in touch with you in another day, I suppose.
Okay.
Sure.
And with another flicker, she disappears.
I didn't know that was possible.
Me
neither.
I need to learn that. That's pretty cool.
But I guess that's something you'd say a lot about Lady Kazak.
Feels a
The
little
pretty
weird.
cool part, or I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, I didn't know that was possible. She probably does a lot of things that people say that.
I know what you mean.
Why would she check in on us like this? How many days has it been? 2?
I think 2.
That's 3, I want to say.
2 or
That's-
3.
Today's the 15th, right?
Today is the 15th, yes.
Mhm.
Because you spent a day, you rested before the forest, you rested on the mountain. Today is the 3rd day, I want to say.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I'm unsure whether you were bolstered and encouraged by the appearance of Lady Khazar, or otherwise worried and disturbed. But you do manage to pass your long rest in this tower after the Yus recast his Demon's Tiny Heart again, because otherwise it would not have lasted you the whole duration. It is a worried sleep. Every sound you hear causes you to wake up, worrying that this is a dragon getting up your tower. Yet no dragon comes, and while occasional chittering from the scaleless lizard things does happen and occur and wakes you up, none of them seem to be interested in this tower enough to actually come inside and notice you. It doesn't seem like they are being as paranoid or as guarded as you have feared originally. So you assume the morning comes, and sticking your head out of the hole in the wall and looking around, you see that light of day has indeed come, albeit in the middle of this lava lake it is more red and hot than anyway. Have a good morning. But you have rested, you have restored your powers, your strengths, you have made whatever preparations, arcane or otherwise, that you wanted.
Look at us. Actually semi-succeeding on a stealth mission.
I mean, the broken clock does show time twice a day.
That's true. Even a blind chicken sometimes finds a corn.
You know what I'm thinking? With the luck that we have, the dragon's already outside waiting for us.
Yeah, like Cerilius, that's what I said
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, it's not entirely unlikely.
Yeah. So remember that sticking your head outside of the wall. Yeah, it kind of like smells like bad breath. And oh no, it's a dragon right in front of us now.
Zardos, can you climb up to the top and take a look out of, just check the general vicinity real quick? Just, I mean,
I could. How about I just, you know what? Might be a little hot, but I'll send out my familiar. Let him take a look around.
sure, but have
Question.
it be careful.
Question: can I give Zaros inspiration, and he could use that on a perception check with the familiar?
When
You'd
looking through the familiar's
technically
eyes?
need to inspire from. Well, if he's looking through the eyes, then yes.
Then I would like to give him 1 inspiration, please.
One inspiration coming right out. Yeah, sure. So yeah, Zardos, what's your plan?
Yeah, I will summon my owl, and poke him out through the hole to let him take a look around.
So your owl is definitely a strange sight in this place,
Yeah, I imagine so.
and as you get it out, it like ruffles its feathers, very unhappy about the heat, intense heat outside of the tiny hut. Nonetheless, it is magically contractually bound to you and will fulfill any orders of yours, even if it causes its own death. So on towards
Yeah.
possible death it goes.
Sorry, buddy. Be careful.
As I imagine you start looking through its eyes.
Yes.
So, is it blue? Is that a size blue? I would say it's blue. Is it blue? No, that's green. So yeah, as the eyes of the owl kind of become green, and you feel yourself inside its body, and spread your wings and flutter outside and fight a little bit with the heat wave, and then lift yourself to the half-broken roof of the tower. You look around and make me a perception check. Alright.
That's with inspiration.
You can use your inspiration.
T10, right?
Are you using it? Okay. So as I was saying, the fire lava she giant is still there, guarding the front gate, seemingly not doing much aside from hurling rocks at possible intruders. You see 2 of those scaled little things like running around in front of the keep. They don't seem to be engaged in any understandable activity. It kind of looks like they're looking for something, and like digging in the ground, like pick something up like a rock and throw it away, and like go digging further. You're not really sure what they're doing. It's extremely hard for you to see anywhere outside of this island. The heat wave just distorts air. You think you see one of the patrols just by the giant shape moving in the distance, and that's about it. That's about as much useful things as you can see from top of the tower.
I forgot the owl actually has advantage on perception.
Well. So, what would you like to do with your owl next? Or
Yeah, well, as I'm looking through it, just kind of, I guess, let everyone know what I'm seeing. Is there any place specific you want me to check out while we have the opportunity here?
I don't think the owl should fly around. It'll draw too much attention in here. I think
Yeah.
that's plenty.
Yeah, okay. I will dismiss the owl and come on there.
I think
Just by the way, just to explain that strange sound just happened in my background, that was one of the little things, just finding a good rock and literally running towards his friend. That was the sound he
I
was
didn't
doing.
even hear that sound.
But that was the sound he was doing.
Okay. I think we should try and see how we can get beneath this keep and what's there. Since that's where the dragon is supposed to be, right? So that sounds like
I could
Track-
go invisible and take a good look around. I mean, if I move alone,
you're our only way out of here, really. So you need to have a signal that happens.
I don't think it'd be a good idea for us to split up anyway.
I think it is not a bad idea. Leos is very quiet and he can be invisible. I don't think any other of us are as quiet as he is. So it's not a bad idea. It's just the risk associated with being discovered is pretty high.
Yeah, they seem to have been able to at least see somewhat through the invisibility before. Kind of hurt a little.
I'm not
I
sure if
don't know.
that's seeing invisibility or if that was just hearing a sound. But they are very alert, that's for sure.
They seem to be tracking something through the sky. I don't know, as we flew. So, not sure.
And judging by the last time you tried to sneak up on a dragon, I'll just, yeah. Not sure how good that's gonna go.
So let me get this straight. The dragon's supposed to be beneath this keep, which is on this island of lava, so in an underground lava cave, possibly.
Maybe, but I mean, there can't be lava beneath. This isn't floating, I think. This is
It
set
looks like it
into-
is. It looks like the island is like shattered, you know, and lava's just flowing through it.
You think it's floating? In that case, there's an... Let's just see what's... I think it's okay for you to try and see what's beneath it, Leos, and then we'll go from there. But if anything happens, you need to dimension door back as quickly as you can. And if you aren't back within a certain time frame, which we should decide on now, then we will move after you with the intent of going down there. What do you think? How much do you want? 10? 15?
Give it 30.
30? If anything happens, you're dead. You're aware of that. We can't.
Yes.
You're taking the risk. Your call. 30 minutes is what we'll wait here.
All right. I would like to. Is there any way for me to look outside of the tower without actually, like from an upper floor?
Without what? Yes, there is a way to stick your head out of the wall, but what do you want to achieve?
Or what is the best way for me right now to get out of the tower? Would it be a window or would it be actually one of the...
I mean, I left a hole beneath us to sort of slip out of if you want that.
There are two options. You can get out of the wall in the tower, as a hole in the tower, and basically somehow climb down the tower. You're not on the ground floor, you're in the air, so you'll have to climb down a couple, like dozen feet, like I guess 20 feet or something. But then it will be outside of the keep. Or you can get through the hole that Aris made and try to climb your way down on the inside of the tower. Once again, you'll have to climb down because those staircases just aren't going all the way, but at the very least you will be on the inside of the tower. Or magical teleportation. That's the ones I can imagine so far.
We could use the rope. I can lower you down and then pull the rope back up.
Yeah, I think that's the safest way.
I could be useful for a change in this game.
All right. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So you get out the rope and tie it around Leo's, like under the armpits. Carefully, he gets through the hole. He is not the fattest of you, so that's not a problem for him. Carefully, drag lower him down. I'm not even gonna have you roll for it. You have 20 strength. Your feet connect with the floor. I need you to make a stealth check.
Yes.
If only you could inspire yourself. Well, that's pretty good.
Look, the worst he can roll is a 12.
Yeah, that's pretty low to actually become detected. So.
Okay, as soon as I hit the ground, I would like to cast invisibility on myself because I forgot to mention it before.
Okay. Sure.
Getting roped.
And when he releases the rope, I'll put the rope back up.
Well, you are on the ground floor of this tower. It is just covered with rubble and a layer of ashy dust, dirt. There is one like half-collapsed archway leading out of it. That seems to be the only ground-level exit.
Okay. I would like to slowly and very carefully walk across the ground towards the exit and just take a look outside and see if there's any movement at all.
No. So to the immediate right of you is the other hole in the wall, basically like half of the wall of this keep collapsed, that provides light. And on the left, as you peek around the corner, is the main room where you saw two sleeping lizard guys and the brazier. The brazier is still there, still unlit, and you see one of those little guys kind of like sitting next to it, as if in a guard position, just kind of like looking around, scratching at the ground with his nail. You see that across from that room there is another archway that was cleared from the rubble that leads somewhere deeper into the keep. Like basically, if your tower is on the... So if you're looking at the keep and if you want to look at geographical north, your tower is the left bottom of the keep, and this main room is in the middle. And so in the top or in the north of the keep, you see like that another opening room, not an opening, another archway leading deeper, further north. You also see a door to the left that most likely leads towards a gate, and you could in theory follow the small hallway you are in towards the bottom right side of the keep. There does seem to be another rubble blocked archway. Where would you like to go?
The direction that you last mentioned.
Okay. You run across the opening, making sure the guarding... I'm gonna call him a skink, just because I want to call him a skink. This guy, you walk across, him not noticing you, not paying enough attention. You appear inside that other room. There is like a mound of rubble that is just covered in dirt and soot. You could possibly climb it to maybe reach the second level of the keep, if there is any. Flying from above, you saw that some of the second level remains, but very blotchy, mostly above the middle and the north side of the keep. On your side, it all seems to be like half collapsed.
Okay, it doesn't make really sense to go up.
You could in theory
that-
climb up and like walk on the second floor, see if you can get down in some other place, if that's what you wanted. But there's another like problem if you wanted to climb that mount. There's risk of like causing a collapse and
creating noise
yeah.
yeah, I don't want to do that. I would like to find the closest way out of the tower and building complex that I'm currently in.
The closest exit is now to the, well, still to the right or to the left of you, depending on where you're looking. It's a giant hole in the wall, which leads outside of the keep.
Yeah, I will go outside to the court and just look for anything that would be like big enough to cover a dragon or anything that would obviously lead downwards, like stairs going down.
You're outside of the keep, and mostly you see what little of island is between you and lava, and just lava. There are no construction. You maybe like see a half collapsed wall that used to surround the keep, but you don't see on this side of the keep. You see no construction, no well, no staircase. If you walked around the corner, then maybe there would be something. But even when you flew from above, you didn't see anything outside of the keep, aside from the wall.
Okay, so the man, I'm having a hard time imagining the place right now. Need to draw it. So
Okay.
So I'm at the tower. I went to the right.
So let me give you a sketch. Let's pretend this is a keep. It's a very bad rectangle, but it's a keep. The giant is over here. Your tower is over here.
Mm-hmm.
Here is a hole in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Hallway. This is more rubble, more rubble, more rubble, more rubble. Opening. Main room. Brazier. Opening. The rest is so far unknown. And here, like, land,
Okay, then
land. Lava, 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 lava.
Okay, in that case, I would like to attempt to make it across the hall. To like up here.
Okay.
There's not a closed door, right? The
No,
door is
it's
open.
just an opening. There are no doors.
Okay,
It's just an opening.
Yeah, and just take my time passing the burning lizard man.
Yeah, you do it very carefully, placing your feet into the soft suit, and on one hand it's helping you, because it's soft and blocking your sound. On the other hand, you are leaving footsteps. He's not noticing you right now, but if somebody were to walk here later, they might notice them. But you make your way through, and across, and into the other room. This room is about like this, and on this side looks, on the right side, looks like what used to have been stairs, except they have collapsed, and there is just a hole in the floor leading somewhere down, and sticking from that hole is a top of an iron pole with a couple like jagged spikes on the sides.
Okay, I would like to go down that.
For that, I don't need you to make another stealth check.
Good luck. Nice.
Okay. Quietly, you start getting down the pole. It is well placed. It is not wobbling, wibbling around, so it doesn't make any noise. It's basically rudimentary ladder, like a pole with handholds and leg holds, that you make your way down and find yourself on the under level of the keep. It's noticeably hotter and stuffier in here. And it almost feels like the rock underneath your feet is gently glowing.
Oh shit.
You're also human. So aside from the super gentle glow, you see nothing. Like your visibility is like 10 feet in front of you, and that's it.
Shit.
You do, however, also understand that you must be in a room, and you do see an opening somewhere deeper into the room, like an archway, judging by the shape, and you see more red-hued lava illumination light coming from there. It's very dim, but it is something. At the very least, it gives you the visual of the arc.
All right. I would like to carefully walk into the direction, and I would like to pay a lot of attention to my necklace.
Okay.
Does it already give me anything?
No.
Shit.
Okay. Yeah, no. I have like a 3D map in my head. I'm like trying to connect your location to current location of the dragon, like figure out the trigonometry in my head. It's complicated, but you're still too far. If there's a dragon, maybe there's no dragon. Maybe she's flying.
The amount of Pythagoras theorems you're doing.
Yes. So make me a dexterity saving throw to show how careful you are. Okay, good. Yeah, you're being very careful, and you're thankful for being careful, because more than once you can like hit your leg on a brick or like chipped out piece of the floor, and if you were moving fast, you would have just stumbled over it and fell. Maybe bringing attention to you, maybe not, but it definitely wouldn't have been something you wanted to do. You make your way to the archway and peer inside. You don't really see much. Another dark room, but there is another opening, seemingly a staircase, a spiral staircase similar to the one that was on the tower, but it's leading down, and the dull glow is coming from that staircase.
Okay. Do I hear anything?
Make me a perception check.
That's not too
You hear the ever-present hum of flowing, boiling lava all around.
good. Okay.
You feel like right now you might be below lava level, but within the rock, so that is protecting you. But if those walls were to break,
Yeah, that would be the end of it.
like boiling water would appear cold for you.
Yeah. Well, if I don't hear any...
You've been gone for 10 minutes because you've been very careful.
Yeah. In that case, I would like to move a bit ahead
Okay.
still and see what awaits me there.
You like once again carefully make your way across this room. There does seem to be like one of the walls, like corner walls, the bricks have collapsed, and the ashy, porous earth has kind of like flown into the room, but at least it has not caused a larger collapse. You finally reach the staircase. You reach the staircase. It is very similar to what you've seen in the tower. So far better, in better shape, and much more narrow. It's only about 2 feet wide, and just spiraling down. There is a center pillar it is connected to, so you cannot look down without descending. And very dull glow coming from over there.
All right. I would probably give it... Yeah, I would probably move a bit ahead.
Okay.
If I see anything, and when I have the feeling that about 50 minutes have passed, I will move back.
Okay, make me a stealth check. Alright. So you're carefully holding your hand to the wall and feeling out the steps with your legs. You start moving down the staircase. Each step does come easier because each step brings more illumination to you. And A minute later, having climbed maybe 15-20 feet below, a staircase does a couple more winds, or more like half a wind, but you see the glow coming from there, and there's no more wall. There's just a wind of a staircase, and from where you are, perceived emptiness. You will have to go down to that place to see what has gone.
Should have said wait an hour. That's pretty much the 15-minute mark, or
No, not even close.
I will go down.
You're like 11 minutes in.
Yeah, I will walk down further.
Okay. Another 20 seconds, and you starting to feel uncomfortable because you feel like this stairwell was leading deeper down, but then has been crashed, collapsed, fell apart, and the center pillar with whatever staircase remaining is holding on, but the well itself is gone. And a couple more steps, and you will be walking on those steps held by the pillar. And that makes you sort of uncomfortable. But those couple steps will lead you into an open space from which the glow is perceivably strong enough to give you at least dim light vision.
I proceed.
Alright. Couple more steps, and you're just like, you hold on to the pillar, and you're like, oh boy, like kneel on the staircase and look around. Make me a perception check as disadvantage, please.
Come on.
No, that's a 10. So, what you see immediately is that indeed the remaining stairwell has collapsed. It should have led another 15 feet down, because below it you see a platform. Definitely ancient man-made platform built into the bedrock. It should have led to that platform, but so right now you see on rubble over there. You however also see that from that platform leading alongside the bedrock wall and leading down deep into the darkness is another staircase. Not a spiral one, just descending, but you cannot see how deep it is descending or if it is in a good shape. Looking to the right and like peering under the broken stones, you peer into the cavern where this hole leads. It's hard to judge its size, but it should be underneath the lava lake as you have a map in your head. And the glow, the light, is because as a lava lake above, so it is below, but much larger. You cannot see the ends of it. You're not sure if it's a pocket, if it's an endless lake. You're not in a good place and your eyes are only human. But you see that lake and you see a blob of black, of land on it. And in the center of that blob of land is a fiery spiral. Just a vortex of flames. You see that there is a pathway leading towards that island with a vortex. But from your perch, you're unable to see if it's a easily navigatable pass, if there's a bridge, if it's broken, if there's a dragon. Your necklace doesn't say there's a dragon, but it's a ways away. I have to walk. Possibly descend the staircase if it goes down, maybe walk a couple 100 meters, then you might reach that island.
How much time has passed?
By now you are at about like 15.5 minutes.
I'll go
Yes.
back.
Right. Make me one more stealth check.
Yeah.
Here comes the natural one.
Just thinking
Oh,
Never
Jesus.
mind.
25! 25! 25! Oh wait,
Reliable talent.
did I mention you have disadvantage?
No, you did not.
Oh crap! Yeah. So back above you go. Kind of glad to leave this old staircase and up the metal pole. And well, yeah, the guy he's still guarding. You wait until he kind of like turns towards the wall and like starts scratching on the wall and run across the room. And find yourself in the tower where your friends are resting.
I'll just give a very quiet.
I lower the rope.
I didn't hear shit.
It's probably only Melora heard it.
Yeah.
I'll try to go quietly to there with the rope.
I let myself get pulled up.
Yep,
Now,
right. Trigger
yeah.
Vader.
as soon as I'm up, I will say, "All right, I found the way, and I found the most likely place where the dragon will be. I didn't find the dragon nor see the dragon, but I found a place where the dragon would have space, a lot of it. There's one guard between us.
What kind of guard? The big one from outside?
No, the small, the weird one. The burning lizard man.
Can we take him out in a quick fashion? Torego, Zardos?
It's possible. Not sure how hardy they are.
We should
Look,
definitely.
Torego, this might be the time for your crossbow. I'm just kidding, it isn't.
It never is.
If we're really quiet, then we should be able to take him out. But we need to make sure that his body isn't found and that we don't leave any traces.
Yeah, I won't be able to help, but yeah.
No, we just have to put some stones over the body or something. There's
we
enough
just-
space.
Can't we just bring him with us for a little while, carry him with us, and then drop him
Well,
somewhere on the wing?
There is a place where we could literally drop him.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's try and take him out quietly as we can, and then let's take him with us.
From this moment onwards, this poor guard who's gonna die in a couple seconds, name is Beat.
Well, it's very unfortunate for Beat that he doesn't speak our language.
Yes, it is.
Well, we actually haven't tried, to be fair.
No, they
No,
don't
he doesn't.
speak our
Yeah, he
language,
doesn't speak.
don't you?
That's about. He doesn't speak. No.
Wait a second. Dan, how close to those animals were we? Or to those creatures? When we were flying over them? We could hear them chit-chat, right?
Yes.
And they're from the elemental plane of fire, presumably. Wouldn't they speak sub-dialect of Primordial?
Do you speak Primordial?
Yes, I do.
Oh crap. Then you would have understood everything they're talking about.
I speak Primordial.
Okay, in that case, assume that everything I was describing, like, you would assume they're talking that. The tone was not the tone, what was literally what they were saying.
Alright. Well, do you want to talk to him?
No, I don't think that's the idea here either. I think he'll make noise, and we won't get anywhere with him.
Alright. In that case, let's all go down, take him out, and then proceed.
So your plan is to make Beat a dead Beat, and
Yes.
then drop the Beat.
Oh, you were waiting for this bullshit, that's why. Okay, that one was pretty fucking good. To be perfect, Frank.
Even though you mentioned his name, I didn't see it coming.
Yep.
We thought it was coming.
It was 2 puns and 1.
Yeah, it was a 2-for-1 special too. It was pretty good.
Oh,
damn.
Okay, okay. Since everybody laughed, I'm just gonna take this 1d4 inspiration for the dragon.
Yeah, that's alright for
No,
me.
do it for Pete.
Yeah, Speed can have that inspiration.
I have it because I made the joke, so I can use it wherever I want.
Okay. We didn't hear Jesse laugh though.
It's fine. I don't.
I
need
didn't push my
everybody to laugh.
button.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, how are you gonna kill him?
Sneak up and try and execute him with Trigo and Zardos.
Can Melora
Very
do
sneaky.
her
A
spell?
light. There's freaking a lot of light
Yeah.
around, and then
Can Melora do her pass without trace again?
Sure.
I think we could use it for the upcoming part anyway, for the next time, so it won't be a waste either.
Another good question is, are Dragon and Melora putting on their armor?
I would.
Because
From
putting
here
on scale mail is 5 minutes.
what if
I
I help
would.
her?
Yeah, we have
5
her-
minutes.
Still?
Still 5 minutes.
I'm still gonna help.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd put it on.
Okay. And what about your armor?
Dunk.
Okay. So, I guess whoever wants to sneak ahead and try to kill Pete, roll me stealth checks.
I mean, we are all gonna be on our way and basically.
And everyone roll stealth checks!
So. 24, not that bad.
30.
Oh my god, you guys!
Oh hell, man!
Clink, clink. Jingle bells,
21,
jingle bells,
so-
where is the
So,
dragon?
as Dragon
I
Knight,
want to know one thing. How the hell?
21.
Go ahead, Jesse.
No, it's not game related.
No, how the hell do you roll so many natural ones, or what are you
No,
looking for?
that and the fact that my freaking not druid, sorcerer in my brother's game has a -10 to dex, and she still nails all her stealth checks.
minus 10.
Not 10, -1.
Okay. Well, dice.
Look.
Yep.
On the other hand,
It's
well,
still 12.
I
It's
mean,
not that bad.
look. You are a goddess of thunder and lightning, not of sneaking in the dark.
Yeah.
No,
This is
I'm the
true.
goddess of sneaking in the dark.
Yes, you are the goddess of sneaking in the dark.
I did pretty good on that.
Yes,
I think it's more the goddess part that he's laughing about.
I am fine with that. Lady Kazara was in for quite a surprise, but she was fine with it as well.
Oh, let's move on, shall we?
Yes. I need to have somebody buy me like an epic goblet or something for the games.
Just like he has.
yeah.
Yeah.
But more epic because I'm the dungeon
Plastic?
master.
It should be golden with rubies.
Rubies.
I need like a huge goblet I need to hold by 2 hands, and the handles are like dragons. And I just like go.
They were like 2 weeks ago. I was in a shop where they actually had that, and I was really considering buying it.
And that's why we get along.
I'm taking bets for as soon as he has that, how long it takes and splashes himself when he's trying to
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Who's gonna make the shot? Who's gonna try to stamp him? Who's gonna actually do the kill?
I think Trego and Zardos are the only ones who actually do damage.
Okay. So the 2 of them haven't crawled 6.
I'm
3.
still invisible, so I
Sure.
can go close as well with my.
Sure.
Oh wait, yeah, I still have half an hour of.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Well,
20
50 minutes. Well, less. 40 minutes, but yes.
Yeah, I will definitely take out my rapier and say,
Okay.
yeah.
Once
So,
this campaign, maybe.
the 3 of you haven't crawled a 6, a 3, and a 20.
A 16 and a 13, please.
I
And a
remember
30.
about that, but 3 and 6 sound cooler. Crawling upon this poor bit, who is currently having the time of his life, playing, well, drawing possibly himself, possibly somebody else. In any case, it looks like a lizard man with a stick on the wall in the suit, who is engaged in hunting of a creature most vicious and impressive, and is definitely winning. There seem to be a couple more similar, although smaller stature creatures all around him drawn that have their like hands in the air, that they're very happy for him. And he's like slowly chittering to himself, which the three of you do not understand, but
Does he have a weapon on him?
he has a scimitar, like sort of scimitar on his side. You are just like here, like he is not being very quiet. He like, yeah, I'm gonna be the best one day. I'm gonna be the chief warrior of the village, and all of the best leg aimed places are gonna be mine. Yeah, that was great.
It's not paying attention at all.
He makes, yeah. So, three of you, roll your attack rolls with advantage, because their passive perception is shit.
Feels good. Oh god. Thank God for it, man.
It would have been fun if I didn't give advantage and you like. Okay. So, the image of Beat was lacking something. It was lacking color. He drew the beast slain, but it was slain in black and white. And just as a bright orange color fills the image of Beat and brings it into life, making it a very valuable piece of art that may be found in a couple hundred years later by anthropologists who will be very surprised about this. So does life leaves his poor, unfulfilled body, and the beat drops.
All right. I become visible, and I would like to take some dirt and smear it all over the blood smear to hide our...
I'm using this on you. I'm using this on you. For beats. Okay, sure.
Yeah, just also, as soon as we leave the room, I would be the last one, and I would like to cover up our...
Start dragging his body.
Yeah. Also, Leos, you hear like a ting in your face, and like a pop-up image appears in front of you that says, "Congratulations, title The Defiler has been earned."
That's actually the first creature that Leos killed with his rapier.
Yes. Well, it wasn't you. It actually, you didn't kill him. Zara didn't kill him. It was Trago who killed him.
So you were good. That was all Trago's fault.
Yes. In any case, so you're dragging the corpse with you and hiding up the signs. So where you're going, all of you, next?
We're following Leos.
Yeah, I
Or
will.
whatever direction he's pointing.
Alright.
Yeah.
Are you leading
will
them
show
the
them
same
the
way? Yeah, okay. So he leads you into the room with the iron pole, and you... many of you quietly make your way down. Milora, kind of like, as she's getting down, her scales kind of like go ting, 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 over each, like, spike. But thankfully, you're going down, and their passive perception is shit, and Bit is dead. And then Leos leads you into the dark room below. And do you go in the dark? Do you...
I definitely will say that it's fucking dark down there. If there's any, we will go without light. If we need light, and if it's safe to say, we will rely on you, Melora, and Trago, and Zaros.
So you don't want me to use light?
No, I haven't seen or heard anything up here, but... Oh,
Sure.
I'm whispering, just to...
Not sure.
I'm grabbing a rock from the floor.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that if you don't see anything, we can use light. But if you do see any creatures hiding in the dark that I didn't see before, I just don't want to alert them right away.
Sure. I'll... Worst case scenario, I'll cast it on this rock and throw it away from us to give us some light.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so you form a little conga line with the two humans in between. And with the guidance of Dark Vision party members, you navigate your way towards the downwards leading staircase and down that staircase. Now, who is leading?
Probably me.
Alright. So,
I would be right behind him
Okay.
to guide him.
sure. So, as Treg, you reach close to the end of the staircase. What is your plan?
Well, what do I see?
You see a 15-foot drop. And a platform below.
A 15 feet drop?
Yes.
How'd you make it down there?
I didn't go down there.
Can't we just drop down there? Doesn't seem too high.
15 feet is...
5 meters?
Yeah.
About?
Yeah?
Listen, it's
A bit less.
a bit
4.5.
less, but
4.
It will hurt.
It does 2d6 of damage. It's okay.
It does a lot of noise, though.
oh yeah, that it does. I mean,
Don't we have rope for this?
Wait. Yeah. Fuck.
Yes, you do. There is another concern of, so you tie a rope to what? To the pillar? To the stairs?
No, I mean, I can lower everyone down and then I'm the only problem.
You are literally standing on a possibly century-old half a staircase, half of which has collapsed, from reasons unknown. What I'm saying is that you have a lot more trust in its integrity than I do. And I'm the Dungeon Master!
I trust it. I believe in you, Stonework.
I mean, I can hold the
Stayed
rope
up all
if you
these
want.
years.
I can hold the rope and lower you guys down if you want, then just kind of walk down the wall afterwards.
That sounds good.
Do you think you can hold, Trego?
No idea.
What's the strength
I mean,
score?
it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Out of character, what is your strength?
Minus something?
It's a 9.
Oh my god.
You maybe
But
can
I
let
have-
Arles down.
I
And
can
you will let him
athletics,
down.
though.
You will let him down by dropping him. That's how you will let him down.
I mean, I at least have athletics and +4, but yeah, it's. I figure if I spider hold onto the wall, ground hard enough. I have no idea.
It's a 15
It'll work out
feet.
fine.
It's 15 feet down, so I could go a little more back.
It's vertically down.
Yeah, I know, but like, so you need 15 feet of rope to go down, and then you can go a bit backwards from the.
The other
From the
15
back.
feet to tie it further up is what you mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sure.
So that is still giving a lot more integrity to the building than Dan is.
This is fine. Look, I mean, we're already standing in on it. It can't be that bad. Can't be much worse when we're letting ourselves down.
I mean, you should check the integrity, like jump up and down, maybe, like see if it holds.
So I'm gonna
That's a no from me.
put
Trego,
yeah
can't you just Misty step down?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
but
I mean, it's a bit of energy that is wasted, but fuck.
that's only
I'm just
me.
loving, like, lava lake? Nah. Tribus fire giant, lava woman things? Nah. 15-foot drop? That's what stops you.
That's the shit. Yeah.
Listen, it's very easy to get around this. We just don't want to waste resources mostly. That's
Yeah.
all it
Yeah,
is.
You can just kind of just hang on the ledge and just lower each person down gently.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What the web property of your thingy? Once a day?
Yes.
What?
The web property of the
no.
cloak? Can't we just make a web beneath us, drop into it, and leave it, then puff it out?
Let's give it a shot.
I mean, it's a shitty DC save anyway, right? It's not. How does that idea sound?
And just caught the web halfway down and
caught by the web afterwards, then yeah, why not?
Give it a shot if you want. Any other ideas?
No.
Other than me lowering all you down and then lowering myself
So,
down.
That's
let's
one, actually.
say that this pen is a pillar, and you're like at the end of the pen, and the platform is down below. So, over here is rock bed, is a wall. So, or back there is emptiness. How do you plan to attach your web?
Well,
Between the pillar and the floor,
That is possible.
and then we can sort of maybe try and climb down
You
it. It's
can
difficult
try and
terrain.
climb it down, try not to get restrained, yes.
See,
It's
that
gonna be
works.
very fun. Especially as you're like climbing down and how
Yeah.
you stick to it and as the dragon comes, kind of like, really guys? Really?
Yeah, if it comes.
these are the guys I have to worry about.
Like, I mean, I plan to do this myself, but you kind of, yeah, I'm just gonna cook you quickly.
We know he's a fire dragon. That will melt the web.
Yes, your cooked bodies will indeed be released from the web.
Okay, let's do the rope and Trego can misty step down and be done with this shit. Please.
Okay, I'm doing the rope.
You're doing the misty step, you mean?
Well, first I'm lowering everyone.
Okay.
I'm first gonna hold
Okay.
the rope.
Okay. Sure.
Everyone's going down.
Sure. Fine. People with below 10 strength score make me athletics checks.
That's three
Oh,
of
boy.
us.
Wait, really?
Yes. No!
There's nowhere to walk down this wall. Just
You can just walk
you
down.
can actually just walk. You could just.
He cannot walk down because the
Oh,
pillar.
we have
Yeah, the
4
pillar is-
people.
Fuck, wrong thing.
It doesn't matter. It's still there.
We
zero
have
for
4
him.
people with strength below 10.
Yes.
Okay, I'm the only piece of shit here.
I'm
It's okay.
So Melora like holds onto the rope, Traga puts her down. Zardos holds onto the rope, Traga gets him down. Leos holds onto the rope, Traga gets him down. Arlis tries to hold onto the rope, slides down 5 feet, falls off the rope, make me a dexterity saving throw.
But I'm literally the pack mule of this party.
Yes.
Yes. Come on, no dice.
And you
Oh
just,
no.
you know, like, Hollywood loves it when somebody like falls off a helicopter. Aris is like, you know, like the Bruce Willis movie
Die Hard.
Die Hard when that guy drops off the tower. That's how Aris like goes, and just 10 feet below, back on the floor, hitting a rock with your back. You go, ah! As you take 2 points of damage.
Never mind, I'm not that hurt. I'm good.
You're right there, bud.
Draco, why did you move the rope?
I didn't do anything.
Yes, you did.
I
Yeah.
forgot something very, very important. Shit. I
What?
could have give out of character. I forgot to use my inspiring leader feat.
Yes, I forgot.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, you can use it right now. Wait for like 10 minutes in this place.
As as Alice is on the ground. Sometimes in life, we see something very easy. We want to take a rope, but we fall to the ground, and we hit the ground hard. But the most important thing in these kind of situations is to not stay down. Losers stay down, but not winners. No, they get up.
Why? For a second there, you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll get
I mean, if you admit canonically that it takes 10 minutes for us to get up while you're doing the speech, then I'm fine with you taking the 10-minute period.
I'm down with him first lying there for a couple of minutes and then sort of start rolling.
And
ready
Leah's
now.
just standing there. Arliss, you can't stay down.
I think I'm like Jahan now. It hurts so bad.
Somewhere, a certain princess's evaluation of Aris slowly crumbling.
Well, that happened.
She doesn't know about it,
Given.
but it's crumbling.
Not let this happen.
Is it 18 temporary hit points?
Shit, it's 18 now. Yeah.
As a small blue man falls down the rope.
I always forget that he's.
Yeah, I forgot entirely. But I'm still
On the other hand, if I ever send you into like an ocean and Aris like decides to go underwater naked, he's gonna be like half invisible. I'm gonna give him advantage on stealth checks because he's
excellent. I will be calling back to this.
There we go. We go to fight a water dragon. We're good.
I'm making a note.
All right.
Oh,
Can we
boy.
move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
The rest of the 10 minutes is just you get knocked down, but you get up again.
There's a song like. There's a song like from that.
I get knocked down.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Because at this rate, we're not facing the dragons this session.
No, it doesn't look like it.
I'm just gonna wait until like Aris fails to climb down another rope, and I'm gonna call the cliffhanger and end the session on it. So you're standing on that platform that must have been at the end of the stairwell, and there's a staircase leading down. Those of you who with dark vision see it much better than Leos did previously, and well, it's a staircase. There is like a 20-foot hole in it until there's another part of staircase. But there is more staircase after it. And for the record, you are currently about... I need to convert, sorry. Let's say... Yeah, you are about 65 feet above perceivable ground level.
Okay, and so this staircase is leading down, and there's a 20-foot
Staircase, broken, 20-foot gap, 20 foot like this gap. There's also like down, and then more staircase.
Okay, I think I can make that jump.
I can because I got 20 strength, but you guys can't.
That is exactly why the drop is 20 feet.
Out of character question.
Yes.
So Treacle can normally carry other people because he's strong.
Yes.
If I make him fly, can he carry other people
No.
across while flying?
No.
No?
No.
Get on my back, jump. Put you down. Jump back. Take a Laura, jump
I
back.
don't think
You
jump back
can
up.
jump down, you cannot jump back up because
Yeah, I know.
jumping
I was
back
kidding.
up is gonna be more than 20 feet.
Yeah, I know. I was kidding.
Or it's gonna be like, staircase like, hey guys, I can jump! Jump over, staircase collapses. That is also an
Well,
option.
That was like at the beginning of The Witcher, I think.
I think
First Witcher.
the best option here is to make a bridge out of webs and painfully move our way across it slowly. Don't see a much better way to...
Is it a strength saving throw?
Yes. No,
Maybe.
that's
Okay.
I think so, yes. I think it's a dex save.
Is it
Yeah,
a
dex
dex or a
save.
strength?
It's a dex save, and then
Yeah,
a
dex
strength
save.
check if you get restrained.
Oh. Wow.
Well, there will be no dex
Yeah.
save because there's gonna be nobody in the web. So it's gonna be only the strength check not to get restrained.
Huh.
I would allow
I mean-
Treg to carry you over the web, but not Zardos. Zardos is not strong enough.
Sure, I'll do it. I'll be the pack mule of this team.
I'm not getting carried.
Get carried. GG.
Nope.
No.
Princess,
Okay.
no Princess Carrie.
It's Dan. By the way, it's creatures standing or who enter the area the first time in a turn become restrained unless they pass a dex save.
Really?
So it's always a dex save, and then once you're caught, then it's strength to not to escape.
That
Basically. But it's only going to be dex saves.
strange. That is strange. You know, I'd agree with that under normal circumstances, but I'm gonna say if you're making a bridge out of web and slowly crossing across, I don't think dexterity makes much sense.
Yeah, if you're moving slowly enough.
Okay.
We're not in combat. Like,
I mean,
we have all
you're
the time in the
you're
world.
gonna make your way across eventually.
it's what's in 3rd editions called taking 20. You just, if it takes long, you can take a 20.
It's probably gonna take that much, yeah.
Take 30, take 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Yeah.
No, I can't fail that many times. Like, it's only a -2. The dice will come eventually.
Yes. Sure.
Can we do that? Let's do it.
But what are we rolling?
Oh, he already cast it. Okay, got it.
Oh, I don't know. I'm asking.
I was just putting up the descriptions. So it's in.
Oh,
Are you
are you
casting?
casting it?
If that's what we're gonna go with, yeah, I'll go ahead and.
Let's fucking do it.
Right.
I think it's the cheapest option out of character.
You're doing it from the cloak, right?
Yes.
No. Okay, cool. Yeah, you connect the 20 like something foot gap with webs and just like sticks quickly to the wall and to the staircase. And it's gonna be springy, but it will most likely hold unless the staircase collapses. But it should hold.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Looks good.
You can still jump over if you want.
I'll be next to them if they need help. If like they need me to rip them off the web,
Rip them off, throw them across.
something like that.
Sure, let's go.
You can actually like lift Aris up and throw him further down the web, like make him stick somewhere to the end of it, so that he needs to travel under like a couple feet.
Alice is not gonna accept that.
No, but that is an option.
It is an option.
It is an option. That's definitely true. Okay. Let's. I'm also just gonna start trying to get across this piece of.
Look,
sticky web.
Walk across.
you spellcasters are all cool and dandy, but I do need to make the strength character shine occasionally.
Does this count as magical terrain?
Yes.
I should have no problem.
Oh, this is easy.
So, Milora and Zardos just go.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Non-magical terrain.
Zardos goes. Milora goes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
let's give it
I
a try.
need, what is it? Strengths checks.
Can we at least have saves to not get stuck?
No, it's a strength check
Oh, fuck my life.
Strength check.
against, what is it, 13? 13 is a DC, right, on your clock?
How many?
Yes.
Should I just start rolling
No,
until
no,
I
no.
hit a 13?
Don't believe it.
I'm using animal
No,
form,
can
I'm
I-
going spider across it.
Okay, sure.
Oh, that's smart.
Okay, sure. So, Beloro does this, but with 8 legs. Yeah, Trigger, what about you?
Can I? Well, Arliss, just let me carry you.
No, I will make this.
Can I rip him off the web if he sticks?
Would he allow you to rip him off the web?
Can I rip you off the web if you stick?
I mean, you can help free me, but I want to move alone.
Okay. Sure.
Trigger, you need roll as well.
A strength check.
Oh,
It's a strength,
please.
strength one.
Please,
Yes.
natural one.
Strength check.
Oh,
Okay. So, Trigger kind of like moves along, like waits for us, who can like. Trigger kind of like helps him tear his leg off. Like, Aris makes another step,
I
Dragon
imagine just
helps
like
him.
Velcro, like
and another step. Basically, 5 minutes later, you manage to cross the.
I mean, I
through
get
the
more
gap.
than one check, please.
No, it
This
just
is bullshit.
you succeed. It just takes a lot of time.
This is the worst.
Yes. You could have considered just tied up a 50-foot rope to the top of the staircase and then drop the last 15 feet, for example, as well. But this was an option. In any case, all of you cross the gap and get to the other remaining staircase, and you climb it down as well. And you find yourself standing in what looks like a cylindrical, large, huge, like 30-meter diameter tunnel, which walls seem to be made of molten rock. Basically, it looks molten, but it has cooled
and yeah, just cooled off.
Hardened.
Hardened. That's the word. It has hardened over. And all of you do indeed see the great glow ahead of you. This tunnel is pretty long, a couple 100 meters, but you see that glow that Leos has seen previously ahead of you.
Well,
And just because I got to discover it previously, the heat in here is unbearable. It's not igniting your clothes, it's not killing you, but every breath is like putting your head into an oven and trying to breathe that air. It hurts your throat, it immediately parches your tongue, and you have no idea how anything would be ready or capable of living in such circumstances. The smell of sulfur is quite strong in here, and you're sure that without magical aid, rest down here will be impossible.
Fuck.
How do you proceed?
Yeah, I'm probably leading, right?
Melora, can you give me that decanter again?
Sure. She hands it over to him.
Arliss drowns.
Do I actually have to tell him how to use it, or?
No. You've used it enough times by now so that you know how to use it. Yeah.
I will definitely take a lot of water as well
Uh-huh.
because I will need it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know your order of marching and how close to each other you are.
I'm first, right? I'm the meat shield.
We're still trying to be stealthy, right? I mean, we're still...
If you're trying to be stealthy, then yes.
Yes, I think we're definitely trying to be stealthy. I mean, there's nothing hurt, that
Yeah.
no downside to it, so... And, order... I don't know. I'll be somewhere in the middle.
I'll probably stick behind anyone with dark vision.
Treg is
about we-
first. Who's going behind Trego and how far?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll head up front with Drago.
I'll be behind them.
Then we'll
I
listen
need
behind.
exact order and distances between you, because it is very important for the purpose of surprise dragon attacks, if it happens. But I will be prepared if it happens.
Put the squishes in the middle.
It doesn't matter. The cone is gonna hit us all.
Yeah, I know.
If you walk 20 feet behind each of you, then no.
Yeah, but that has other risks associated with it.
Yeah,
That's why I'm asking, so that you don't complain later.
we need to stick within 30 feet of Melora, so
Yes.
I think we would put Melora in the middle because of Pass Without Trace.
If she
And I
agrees.
guess Arliss and I are behind Melora.
But we're all pretty... I'm still pretty close behind Melora. Like 10, 15 feet maximum.
So it's a 30. It's an aura
Yes.
of a 30 feet.
Yes.
Okay, so that means 10 feet apart from each other.
Yeah, we could do 10 feet apart.
Yeah.
So Melora, 10 feet Arliss, 10 feet Leos.
Yes.
Sure.
last in that case.
And Drago first, 10 feet, 10 feet.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? We're gonna get roasted anyway. Anyone who isn't high in initiative is gonna get roasted.
Hey, I almost have 100 hit points. How bad could it be?
Cool.
Hey, that's a lot.
This is
Do
interesting.
you want an answer to that?
So,
Speaking of,
Probably 101 hit points.
if you are trying to be stealthy, I would also like everyone to make stealth checks.
Uh,
33!
oh,
Doesn't
God,
matter. We're all gonna fail. So
No, what's wrong with you people?
At least it's not a fail.
Okay, it's still
20.
22,
22,
22, 26, 20.
but Leos failed, and I. What? I rolled the average of the dice, and I got Leo lower than Leos's. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Okay. So, in your funny conga line, that coincidentally is a really nice 60-foot long line, very nice number, I like it. You start heading down the tunnel.
How big is that
The
breast?
cone is
weapon?
exactly
Probably,
60 feet
probably
long.
exactly 60 in that case. Fuck off.
I think so.
Your footsteps don't echo because you're trying to be very quiet, and you are very quiet. The shadows of Melora's magic kind of cling to your feet, somehow magically dampening the sounds you're making and masking you from sight. You'll see the target ahead of you. A large pillar or vortex of flames. On an island, on another lava lake in front of you. This vortex goes maybe 30 feet into the air before it dissipates. But you have a feeling that that must be the portal everyone was talking about. And judging by its size, you can understand why a dragon could make its way through. And that portal looks unstable and untethered, very different from what Melora, Traeger, and others have seen previously in the Red Forest, the controlled ones. So you aren't sure if it is capable of transporting creatures the size of this portal, but if it can, that might be a very big dragon. Bigger than any you have seen of all before. Nonetheless, the task is hand and it must be fulfilled. And thus you press on. A couple 100 meters later, you exit this tunnel and find yourself in a cavern. The ceiling of this cavern is a good 200 feet above you. Close space, but enough for a large creature to spread its wings if necessary. As the lava spreads on pretty much every side around you, except for one. The island with the vortex is perhaps 100-120 feet away from the end of the tunnel. Connecting the tunnel to the island is a bridge. An old, half-collapsed bridge.
Wooden.
No, it's stone, with the stone pillars sticking out of lava and somehow still holding it on. It's not in a very good shape. How good of a shape you'll have to find out if you come closer. But it does lead to the island with the vortex. And on that same island you can see like remains of construction. Just foundations of walls and a couple half-collapsed pillars. Is it your intent to cross the bridge?
This bridge is our death. This is it.
There's no other real way onto the other side, right?
Well, you can fly, you can swim, you can teleport. But by foot, that's the only way.
It's 120 feet.
Yes, about 120 feet. I mean, like from the tunnel, like the bridge is 120 feet long.
Yeah. Okay.
Could I inspect the bridge to see if it looks like it would hold?
Yeah, sure. Are you
What
breaking the
kind of-
Are you breaking the formation?
Well,
Hey
No,
guys,
no.
let's turn 118 around. need to walk next to the bridge.
I mean, how wide is this bridge?
The bridge is wide. It looks to be very well constructed. As I buy time to measure it, it's 20 foot wide. It could easily let
4
a
people.
unit of soldiers to cross 4 abreast, even 5. You are currently still in the tunnel. You're still
Is it-
like watching.
Is it like the cavern? Is it just a dead end with a bridge to the island and a portal?
There's a tunnel, the bridge, then an island, which also seems like to be maybe like 200 feet across. It's a small, pretty small one. And then a lava lake all around, and then a cavern.
Question: How well lit is it in here? Pretty well because of all the lava, right?
Tunnel is dim light. As you exit the tunnel, it's bright light because lava everywhere.
Okay.
You know that dragon's gonna pop up in the middle of the bridge crossing. You just know that.
So the dragons you guys met kind of do that.
No, I've never seen a dragon close to a bridge yet. It's absolute speculation. Let's move, I think. And the second I step out onto the bridge, I'm gonna draw a mask over my face.
What
That
do you
looks
mean?
like
Oh.
the face of a phoenix.
Oh,
There's,
yeah. So, we haven't discussed it, but the visual I had in my head is basically like you make this move, and it's still kind of like a crown, like a ring of fire that goes above your head and across your face, like like a fiery beak.
Sounds good to me.
Nice. So all of you are going towards the bridge. Are you like still trying to space yourselves, or
yeah. One last question: How
yes?
tall is the bridge from the lava?
There's a good 10-foot drop towards the lava.
Oh shit.
So not only will you take the lava damage, you also take 1d6 damage from the drop.
Yeah, I think I want to bolster myself a little more with a little false life.
Temporary
It
hit
doesn't
points don't
stack.
stack.
Yeah, you
Oh, I
already
thought
have
they did.
18.
Nope.
Oh, never mind. Fuck. All right, fine. Won't do that then.
Don't worry, you're resistant to fire. It'll be fine.
Yeah, sure.
Not
Uh,
yet.
Look, guys. Having a dragon appear in the middle of the bridge is a cliche. There's no way I'm gonna drop it on you.
Oh, God.
Sure.
Oh, okay, in that case, yeah, sure.
It's
I'll-
I see that grin.
It's probably not going to be a dragon. It's going to be the fire elemental all the snake people are praying to.
It's gonna be the Fire Lord Ragnaros.
Excellent, let's move.
All right.
Once again, so that nobody,
executors.
so that no, die insect, so that nobody complains. What once again is your formation?
I'm
They're the
first.
same?
Yeah, the same.
I mean, are you still like 10
10,
feet
10.
spaced?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right.
Should
So
I cast protection from fire now?
it lasts
This
a
is an
minute.
excellent time. Oh, wait, maybe wait.
Excellent
Let's
time to
wait.
cast it.
Maybe wait a little bit.
So-
Well,
You
it's
really
not a
want
bad-
to see me burn, huh?
As
not a bad
the
turn.
first of you walks out of the tunnel and carefully starts approaching the bridge, the tensions rise. You're unsure from where this creature is gonna assault. You aren't even sure if it's here. It might just be an empty lair, or a dragon on a hunt, or maybe it's in a portal. You were not guaranteed that it remains on your plane constantly. But you cannot help but fight the paranoia. You fought 2 dragons before. You won with a great price. And those were the dragons you knew. You knew how they operated, you knew the damage they did. Kinda. This is a new one, and by the words of Lady Khazar, something old and powerful and dangerous. As such, there's no surprise that all of you are looking around really attentively for any signs of a flapping wing or a horned head. You think that that dragon might be hiding in the lava below the bridge, waiting to spring at you as you cross across. As such, most of you do not notice. As the black ceiling of the cavern, covered with motes of lava, moves. An eye opens, a tail twists, a wing unfurls.
He's just gonna fall on us.
A humongous dragon of red-black scales, melding with the wall, observes your arrival. Late, too late, does Melora notice as the dragon detaches and starts to drop. Late, too late,
How's it
she
hang?
gets into the detection range of Lewis's amulet as it heats up, imperceptibly so compared to the temperature of the room around. It is not surprise, for you were ready for this. But Dragon was readier. 60 feet above you, the wings unfurl with a loud popping sound, stopping the dragon in its track. It hovers above you, inhales and exhales. As a roaring cone of flame descends from the sky above all of you, and at the start of initiative,
Is it directly above, by the way?
yes,
Or is it... Okay.
we will continue this next week.
Wait, could we do the initial damage just to see if I should prepare a new character for next session?
No.
Aww.